Rangers Stadium, where the defending 5A Division I state champion and 6-1 in 2025 Smithson Valley Rangers face a big game this evening. New Braunfels in town. Always fun when those two get together, and especially this year with the Unicorns coming in with a fantastic record of their own. We'll get to all of that throughout the broadcast tonight. Hector Ledesma, Brian Hill alongside. And Brian, there's certain games when you look at a schedule that you go, that one should be fun, and then as the season goes through, the hype, the anticipation builds up even more. Easy to say this one of those ball games tonight.
Yeah, coming into the season, you kind of figured New Braunfels would, based off of last year, making the third round of the playoffs, playing Smithson Valley, you kind of figured that they would kind of be in the mix. But you don't never really know how the season's going to unfold, but it has unfolded like that. Came in undefeated last week and had a big lead versus Piper and ended up, letting that one slip away just a little bit. And so we'll see how they respond to that. Are they using that as motivation, or is that still kind of in the back of their minds a little bit? We'll see.
That being their first loss of the season. So 2 6-1 teams coming in. The difference, the Unicorns, because of the loss to Piper, are 3-1. The Rangers are purring 4-0 in district play. We're underway. New Braunfels won the toss, elected to receive. And so the kickoff goes through the back of the end zone. No surprise. That is what Amaya does, and the Unicorns will start 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, Amaya usually kicks out of the back of the end zone, but definitely going to there. Pretty good. It is breezy tonight. The wind is howling, a little bit of a cross breeze, but what wind there is will be in the face of New Braunfels. They're going into it to start. They elected to receive, so Smithson Valley elected which way they were going to defend. So New Braunfels will start out going against the wind.
Following the Trent Amaya kickoff, the Unicorns come out with Levi Gola as their starting quarterback. Brock Stewart, the running back. Caden Mills, the featured receiver, in a group that includes Cameron Pitts, Grant Franklin, and Liam Weaver. Snap, first play from scrimmage, up the gut. It's Brock Stewart, a couple near the 30 before that Ranger defense converges.
Yeah, and Stewart, not a big guy at running back, but I remember him from last year as a sophomore. Runs very tough for his stature. He's, typically when you see kind of a guy who's smaller in stature, you think of him more as a quick, shifty perimeter type of guy, but he is not afraid to slam it up in there and picks up a good gain on first down.
Stewart coming in, 534 rushing yards, 112 carries. He has scored 10 times on the ground. They gave him 4, so 2nd and 6. Ball at the 29, we'll call it. Not a whole lot there. That Ranger defense ready. Jacob Stover, young man who comes in with 38 tackles in on that stop.
Yeah, it was a good job by the defensive end, closing on the veer, forcing the running back to bounce it, and a great job by the gap exchange linebackers, both Hornsby and Stover there for a minimal tackle. Actually went back a yard. So this would be big for the Rangers. Unicorns they win the toss, decide to take the ball. If they force them to punt against the wind, Rangers are looking at good field position, but got to stop them on 3rd down first.
Got back to the line of scrimmage, so 3rd and 6. Ball still at the 29. Gola shotgun. 3 receivers to his left. He's looking right. Now he's running right. Lets it go. Intercepted down the sideline, and a chance for Liam McGee to get into the end zone. Tackled, though, at right around the 5, maybe beyond that. First big play of the game goes the way of the Rangers.
Yeah, and anytime you can create pressure and make the quarterback flush without bringing a blitz, that time the defensive line all slanted one way, and then you had Woods, who was the opposite defensive end, loop all the way around the other side, and so the quarterback thinks he's got a clean pocket to flush out to the right. Woods comes flushing around. He's right in his face. McGee does a great job of staying home on the scramble drill, knowing he's got safety help over the top, and just sat on it, read it perfectly, picks it off in stride. Ranger offense gets to start at the 5-yard line.
Liam, one of the starting corners, his first pick of the season. Caleb Piegler gets to give. Across the 5, near the 3. Stopped, and it'll bring up 2nd and goal for the Rangers.
Yeah, good play by their middle linebacker, Rocco DeSanto. Looked like Piegler had a good cutback lane there, and usually we've grown accustomed to him running through the first tackler and breaking arm tackles, but wasn't able to get away from the middle linebacker, Rocco, there. So good tackle. Rangers pick up a couple, but still 2nd and goal from the 3.
Great football name, Rocco DeSanto.
Yeah, you better be a middle linebacker if your name's Rocco.
Caleb with 2 yards on that carry. 2nd and goal from the 3. Pegler again diving into the end zone. The Rangers draw first blood. Little more than 2 minutes into the first quarter, 9:51 still on the clock, and with Trent Amaya coming out for the PAT, it is 6-0 that early.
Just a really good run, a really good patience by Pegler. You're thinking here, I'm inside the 5-yard line. I'm just going to slam it up in there no matter what. The initial hole was closed up, and he does about 2 jump cuts to get back to the backside B gap and ends up walking into the end zone pretty much, but with the initial hole kind of clogged up. So picture-perfect start for the Rangers. Force them into a 3rd and long, get pressure on the quarterback, get a turnover, short field for the offense, capitalize. Amaya punches it through. Rangers with an early 7-0 lead.
Pegler's 16th rushing touchdown of 2025. We'll be right back. Rangers on top early right here on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Jeremy Fuller State Farm, United Rentals, Lynx Roofing, Orthopedic Performance Institute, Frost Bank, The Branch, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge, Christopher Ashley Pools, Singer Services, Methodist Healthcare, and Wick Productions.
Ranger Stadium on the Ranger Network does not take that Smithson Valley offense very long, of course. Easy when you start the possession at the 5-yard line of the opposing team. Liam McGee and that Smithson Valley D huge on that first possession, an interception to set up 2 Pegler carries, the latter of which led to this early 7-0 lead. Let's take a look at some impact players for your Smithson Valley Rangers coming into tonight's ball game. Hudson Woods, fantastic defensive end, all-world, know what he can do. He's number 92 there. 99, Justin Roberts, Kyle Bierman, Caleb Barrow, and Truth Duvall L. Watch them go to work up front. As big, as good, as aggressive as a defensive line as you'll see in Greater San Antonio, Brian.
Yeah, and it's such a blessing as a defensive coordinator and defensive coaching staff when you know that your defensive line is dominant and can create pressure on the quarterback without having to bring blitzes. You're able to drop guys into coverage. And Ranger D-line, we knew they were going to be good coming this season. They've been as good as advertised.
On the first play of the second possession, back to pass, but not able to get it away. Right on cue in terms of the defense making a play. It's Colton Hornsby who comes up from that linebacker spot and brings down Levi Gola.
Yeah, and that wasn't a designed linebacker blitz. That's just Hornsby reading sprint out, and he probably is spying the quarterback, plays over the top. Great coverage. They tried to run a little flood route into the boundary. Really good coverage by the Rangers secondary, making the quarterback hold it for longer than he wanted. And by that time, Hornsby scraping over the top, spying the quarterback, gets a big sack. And again, against this wind, being in passing type situations, not being able to chunk the ball down the field into the wind, you're really going to allow this pass rush to get home.
6th sack of the season for the Rangers' leading tackler, Colton Hornsby, with now 54 tackles in 2025. Gola, screen. Look for that young man to get the ball in his hands as often as they can. Out toward the 20, the 25. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that was Caden Mills. Check the replay on that.
I would assume so. He's their go-to guy. He's been doing it for a long time for the Unicorns. He's a really, really explosive player. Anytime they can get the ball in his hands, something exciting can happen. But that time, really good rallying defense. Good job by Haug, forcing it back to the inside and allowing his inside help to get there. And good rallying tackle for a minimal gain. So 3rd and long, you know what happened in the last 3rd and long. Let's see if they dial up some pressure.
Mills wears number 0, 19 receptions, 4 touchdowns, 354 yards receiving. Under pressure as Gola gets away. Near a first down marker. Short of it, there is a penalty marker on the play. We'll see what it's for.
Yeah, it's thrown by the line judge down here on Smithson Valley sidelines. That's one of 2 things. Either we lined up offsides on the D-line.
There's a flag on the play.
Or they were in a legal formation. They're pointing the way of the Rangers, so it looks like we lined. I didn't see anybody jump, so we must have lined up in the neutral zone by one of the defensive linemen.
All right, defense, number 92, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, they must have just got Woods, must have just been barely in that neutral zone because, again, you can see the replay. Nobody jumped. So he must have just lined up in the neutral zone. They called that. So they'll get another shot at it. Still 3rd and long, but was going to be a 4th down in a punting situation. The Unicorns get another chance here on 3rd down.
Talking about Woods in that defensive line moments ago. Woods an SMU commit verbally. 5 sacks coming in. Barrow 19 tackles, 3 sacks. Bierman 14 tackles. Justin Roberts 23 tackles, 6 of them for loss. It is a fearsome group. 3rd and 3. Sideline incomplete. 4th and 3 coming for the Unicorns at their own 26-yard line.
And again, we talked about it last series, and we talked about it even early in this series. When you have a defensive line, and it's not just Woods, it's those interior guys too, and the other defensive ends that roll in there, they can create pressure without having to bring extra guys from the linebacker. And so when you do that, you're able to drop into zones and play cover 2 behind it. That time they tried to throw an out route into cover 2, and Howe just got to sit on it, knowing he had safety help over the top. And it's tough to throw an out route into cover 2, so now they got to punt into the wind.
Speaking of Haug, who plays corner and receiver, as many of you know, he's back to field. The punt does so at his own 44, comes across the field. He's got the 50. Can he turn the corner? Stopped it right around the 44 of New Braunfels. He'll give him the 43.
And again, kind of what we talked about. We ended up getting a pick on the first drive, but being able to hold them 3 and out, making them punt into the wind. And then obviously we get a good return, not 30, 40-yard return, but just fielding the ball and getting 10, 15 yards. Rangers starting in plus territory again at the opponent's 43-yard line. So Smithson Valley's offense gotten to start the 5 and in plus territory for both of their drives. And so just what you want when the other team elects to take the ball when they win the coin toss.
Knutson at quarterback, 1,198 passing yards, 12 touchdowns, 85 for 133. Is what his completion to attempt numbers are. Here's his first of the night. Complete to Piegler. Woo! If he can break that tackle, he's got green in front of him. But a nice job of coming over and making that stop by, I believe that was Rocco DeSanto again.
Yeah, he's flying around from this middle linebacker position. But that was not a true RPO. You hear that term RPO thrown around a lot when you're watching football, whether on Saturdays or Sundays. True RPO is when you kind of put the ball in the belly of the running back and you decide post-snap if you're going to pull it and throw. That was predetermined. He could have run the ball, but he looked out there, saw numbers, and went ahead and threw it out there, picked up a good gain on 1st down.
Piegler. 3rd carry of the afternoon, I should say the night, 1st down yardage inside the 35 of New Braunfels, and he moves the sticks.
Yeah, a little zone play, split zone. Good job by the fullback. I believe that was Sawyer coming across and kicking out the defensive end. Piegler with his great vision cuts it back and was about a shoestring tackle away from breaking it into the secondary. Picks up a 1st down, but that was close to becoming even more.
Starting the night, 736 rushing yards for Piegler. He gained 5 on that first possession, so 741. And then add what he just got moments ago. There's Luke Peace. Ball's loose. Is that a fumble? Officials say it is. New Braunfels football. Yeah. Actually, that might have been Braxton Sawyer.
I think it was Haug.
Was it Hunter?
I think it was Haug, yeah.
Okay. I thought I saw 84. Maybe it was just 4, and then I saw Sawyer coming out of the mix. Here's another look.
A little hook route right in the middle of the field. Good ball, hits him right in the chest. He catches it clean, turns up the field, and takes a big hit. Looks like the helmet might be right on the football. Yeah, and ball comes loose. If this was Saturday or Sunday, they'd be looking to see if he had possession and if he made a football move and all that type of stuff. But it looks like to me that he did. And then they did a good job of pulling it out at the last second. So that was a big play by New Braunfels defense after, an opening touchdown, Rangers getting the ball in plus territory, picking up a 1st down. That was about to be another 1st down, letting the game slip away from them early, but that's a big turnover. Let's see if the Unicorns can capitalize.
Hunter, the leading receiver for the Rangers, 23 catches, exactly 400 yards on the season before that one. On 1st and 10, it's Brock Stewart goes to his left. Not a whole lot there, maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and if you're Haug, not too much time to dwell on it. Yep. He stays right back out there on the field playing corner. That irks at him. Super competitive, only a junior, big-time playmaker. That's eating away at him. And, I would, if I was a betting man, I would bet that he would get another chance in this game to kind of redeem himself on the offensive side. But right now he's lined up at corner, and he's following their best receiver, Caden Mills, around. So he's got to have a short memory.
An interception for Hunter coming into the season. Coming into the night, I should say, on the season, 26 tackles. Couple last week in that huge win at Seguin. Here's the other end of the field, it's Cameron Pitts, his first reception. Cameron crossed the 35, near first down yardage. Might have picked it up depending on the spot.
And another flag from that same referee. So again, we either lined up offsides again, or they had an illegal formation, too many guys off the line of scrimmage. So we'll see what they call. Be interesting if it is on the Rangers. Would they decline making it a 3rd and 1, or would they make it a 2nd and 5? But we'll see whether it's on the Unicorns or whether it's on the Rangers. Those are the only 2 calls that line judge could make, be offsides or illegal formation.
As we await the call, we talked about Caden Mills, and rightfully so. He's an explosive guy in the core. Here comes the call, and then we'll finish the thought.
Fouls on the play. Legal formation. Offense. More than 4 backfield. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense. Number 97. Those penalties will offset. Replay. 2nd down. This is.
Okay, microphone getting cut off, but you got the gist of it. They'll just replay the down there, 2nd and 10. But I was just going to finish that thought, Brian, and say, Caden Mills is the big play guy, but Cameron Pitts actually leads them in receptions coming in, 26 for 371 yards. That includes a receiving touchdown. Grant Franklin, who wears number 1, Cameron, by the way, wears number 9. You just saw him on that previous play. Grant Franklin wears number 1. He's hauled in 16 balls. And then they got a kid named Liam Weaver, a junior, who rounds out that receiving corps. So it's a group that 3 of the 4 really have put up some production so far this season.
Yeah, no, the referees are talking again. I'm not sure whether they're resetting the game clock and all that type of stuff. Not sure, but looks like we're ready for play after the offsetting penalties there. So after all of that, it'll be still 2nd and 10.
Ball still at the 26. Unicorns' 3rd possession of the game. Their first ended on a Liam McGee interception. Their second, they had to punt it away on the run. Pass, nice job. Crossed the 45, and that the first catch for the aforementioned Grant Franklin, his 17th reception of the season.
Again, good initial coverage, pretty good pressure up front, making the quarterback scramble from the pocket. And if you can't pressure after he escapes the pocket, it's really hard for the secondary to keep that scramble drill coverage. So it was a good job by Franklin of kind of finding a window, sitting in the window, making himself available for the quarterback. So the Unicorns pick up their first down of the ball game.
Gola coming in, 86 of 135 through the air. A completion percentage near 64. There is the aforementioned Caden Mills, and that is why we talked about him. That slant getting across and now into Ranger territory of the Unicorns.
That was a true RPO by New Braunfels. Puts the ball in the belly of the running back. He's reading the safety, the play side safety. If the safety comes downhill and fits the run, you see it right there, number 15, Smith, doing his job. He's reading run. So if he comes downhill, quarterback will pull it and throw the skinny post in behind his head. But if they stayed back there in cover 2 and the safety didn't come fill the box, then they would have handed that ball off. So good read by the quarterback and a good ball on the skinny post to Mills.
Goal is thrown for 1,270 yards on the year coming in. Penalties here. False start on New Braunfels appears to be the call. That's the early indication.
Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So ball moved back to the 36-yard line. Brings up 1st and 15 on what, to this point, and it's early, is New Braunfels easily their best possession.
If I'm New Braunfels with under 4 minutes left in the first quarter, I'm trying to take as much of this clock off as I can so that just in case I got to kick a field goal, I'm not doing it against the wind.
Gola's shotgun, flanked on each side, looking left, now takes off up the middle, the
Golly.
30, and then gives up, but good yardage getting past the original line of scrimmage into the 29.
Bierman was getting held bad right there in the middle. You can see on the replay, number 90 right there. He's trying to get back right there. He's just getting his jersey pulled, and he's trying to get back and get the quarterback, which allows the quarterback to step up in the pocket and get about 6 or 7 yards. But officials missed one there. But regardless, picks up some pretty decent gain, gets that penalty yardage back, and 2nd and 8.
At the 29. Gola Here comes Mills, left side, shaking and baking, still on his feet. Inside the 15, finally brought down at the 11.
That was a good play fake there. I was following. I thought we made a tackle in the backfield with the running back, but yeah, they faked it to the running back and then had a little end around, kind of Smithson Valley getting a dose of their own medicine. Smithson Valley runs so many of those little reverses and end arounds that time, and I didn't see Mills come back around, so I thought it was going to be a tackle for loss. We tackled the running back in the backfield, but he got around the edge, and with his speed, it doesn't take much. So they pick up a first down, and inside the red zone, 1st and 10 from about the 12-yard line.
Well, you'll see now they use him in a number of different ways. We're talking about Caden Mills. 19 receptions, 354 yards, 4 touchdowns, but he can also carry the ball. On the other end, it's Pitts coming our way near the 10.
Got a hold. Should be on their right tackle, 76. He's trying to reach and get Hudson Woods sealed. Grabbed a little bit too much of the jersey right at the point of the tack, so it looks like should be a holding, and it's going to back the Unicorns up.
Offensive line for New Braunfels, 77's Jack Owens. He's a left tackle. Left guard is 74, Aiden Rico. Here's the penalty call.
Offense, number 27. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Penalty on Corbin Hollander. He's a tight end.
Tight end, yep.
For the Unicorns. And just completing their offensive line, Quentin Tebow's their center, 52. Brody Linderman, the right guard, number 75. And Carter Jackson at right tackle, 76. First and 20 following the penalty. They are at the 22, so they can get a first down if they get to the 2. Gola cross the 20. Hornsby.
That's not a horse collar. That's not a horse collar. You can grab him by the jersey. You can't go inside the shoulder pad. It's not a horse collar.
I was thinking maybe that's what the discussion was about, but I think they're talking about the yardage that they'll mark off instead. Let's see if I'm wrong.
God, it's a bad call.
Personal foul. First collar. Defense, number 17. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
First and goal at the 8-yard line for the Unicorns.
So from 2nd and 20 to now 1st and goal at officially the 9, it looks like. Gola looking to hurry. 1:46 on the clock. Looking to the backside, incomplete.
They tried to throw a little throwback screen to the fullback there, rolled out to the right, tried to get at the Ranger defense, knowing how aggressive they are and how fast they rally to the football. They were trying to stop and quarterback turn around and throw the screen. We only had 1 or 2 guys back there. Howe was in position, but they would have had some blockers out in front. He would have had to weave through and make a tackle, but quarterback overthrows the fullback on the delay screen there to the fullback.
Lyric Lally, the intended receiver. 2-year letterman. He's a senior. 2nd and goal from the 9. Gola to Stewart. Has some room. Takes
Ball's
a
out,
big
fumble,
shit.
Fumble.
And back comes Smithson Valley. What a huge hit.
Yep.
Ball came loose, waiting for the signal. There we go. Smithson Valley ball officially. It took a while.
Yeah. And he, after a good run, he was down there, and I don't know whether he tried to kind of stretch for the end zone, but you can see the replay here. He kind of gets his legs taken out right there, and then bang. Woo. Who was that? Smith. Yeah, Philip Smith from his safety spot comes over and lays the wood right in his chest as he was kind of airborne, knocks the ball out. So the Rangers and the Unicorns trade fumbles there. Obviously, New Braunfels is a little bit more devastating for them. They were inside the 5-yard line, but Ranger defense kind of bails out the offense and trades turnovers. Smithson Valley will take it, even though they're at their own 6-yard line. They'll happily take that. No points on the board for the Unicorns.
Philip Smith, 9 tackles last week in that blowout win at Seguin for the season. He has 45 coming in. Caleb Piegler up the middle near the 14. And to add to your point, Brian, 2nd turnover now for the Smithson Valley defense. And on the extreme ends of the field, which is with the ones that tend to be the most devastating, right? You turn it over right over there, you put your offense in great position, you get one over here, you deflate an offensive possession that was looking for points.
For sure. I mean, you're going against a historically tough Ranger defense, and you finally put the drive together, get a couple first downs, and to come away with no points, especially if Smithson Valley is able to cap this off and get points of their own.
Piegler, after getting 9 yards on the previous carry, gets a couple more here. Good for a first down to the 19 as the clock goes under a minute with 52 seconds to go. It stops momentarily for the chains to move.
Piegler's running hard. The last 2 runs, he's hit one cut, and he is sprinting through the hole. And I just know at some point he's going to break that last arm tackle and go for a big one. But he is running hard right now. Big boys up front creating lanes for him, but he is downhill one cut, and he's running angry right now.
116 yards last week for Piegler in that win against the Matadors. Knutson rolling to his left. Aiden Verrett, the right tackle. Verrett, correct.
Atta baby. Yeah, tight end / tackle / Mr. Do-It-All Swiss Army knife. Typically plays tackle, but when he throws on that number 87 jersey, he's an eligible receiver playing tight end. That time he comes from the backside. A lot of times we'll run bootleg or naked bootleg with a play side tight end or fullback kind of delay and then in the flats. He was actually lined up on the opposite side, came underneath the linebackers, and a good throw by Ty having to square up his shoulders going to the left. So good job getting out of the shadow of their own end zone with 2 first downs. That'll be the end of the first quarter.
And that is how quarter number 1 comes to an end. The Rangers up on the Unicorns 7-0 in a battle of 6-1 teams. We're back after this on the Rangers Network.
We would like to thank Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge for sponsoring our Rangers. They are a huge part of our community and have Ranger athletes of their very own. Thanks, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge. The Rangers appreciate Jeremy Fuller State Farm's support year after year of our Smithson Valley athletes. If you need home, auto, insurance, and more, call Jeremy Fuller State Farm today. Our Smithson Valley athletes appreciate the branch for all of their support. They keep our hungry athletes fed and contribute towards scholarships and overall athletic needs year after year. The Rangers appreciate you. Smithson Valley Ranger athletes appreciate Christopher Ashley Pulls. Thank you for all of your support. They are a big part of our community.
First play of the second quarter goes to Caleb Piegler, the pitch, across the 30-35. Caleb on 1st and 10 getting, we'll call it 6 upon initial observation. We'll see what the final marking is, though.
Yeah, a little misdirection, sending the O-line one way. Quick pitch it out. Got his fullback out in front. Good job by Sawyer of getting out there and kicking out the edge, and even allows Piegler to get the edge and get around their outside defender. So good pickup on first down there. Now Smithson Valley's going against the wind. But that doesn't mean much when, Ty, we know the kind of arm he has. He will still be able to push the ball down the field.
7 is what they give Piegler. Here comes Hunter Haug. Ball back in his hands across the 50, near the 40. Finally dragged out of bounds.
Yeah, he hit that crease well. Timed it. Without that speed, that might be a minimal tackle because they're trying to run him down from the backside. But he hits that crease, and it was a great kick-out block. Again, the unsung heroes, Sawyer, does a great job kicking out without holding. That's one of the hardest things to do is block out in space with keeping your hands inside, not get called for a holding. Kicks him out. Hunter hits the speed slot and picks up a big first down. So now the Rangers inside plus territory. See if they take a shot. One of the favorite offensive coordinator spots just outside when you cross after a big play, cross midfield, see if they take a shot.
It's Piegler coming right. Across the 40 near the 35. Diving forward, they're going to give him the 37.
Close there. Good patience again. Little counter play. It was clogged up initially. He's patient. Gets behind his pullers and then bounces to the outside. Makes one cut. Gets up the field and what looked like it was going to be a no gain. He ends up picking it up about 4 yards on first down.
Briley Bowman, the left tackle for the Rangers. Jake Irwin, the left guard. Kyle Gugliotti, the center. Clinton Goss, the right guard. And the aforementioned Aiden Verrett, the right tackle / tight ends on certain possessions. Where's 76 when he's on the line. Where's 87 when he's catching passes. Piegler up the middle to the 34 of New Braunfels.
That's just the Ranger offense keeping the defense honest and future opponents' defense honest. Oftentimes when the running back, we have him lined up behind the quarterback most of the time in what you call the pistol. And a lot of times when he motions up to stand next to the quarterback, they're thinking, oh, it's a pass protection. He's moving up there for pass protection. But Smithson Valley handing it off, just a tendency breaker there to make sure, no, we can still run the ball with Pegler here even if we're not in the pistol.
3rd and 3 at the 34. Knutson, Brody Wick. First down yardage for Wick, who's had a big last 2 weeks for these Rangers. 3 catches, 129 yards, and a touchdown against Wagner last week. 2 receptions. Both of them went for scores, 102 yards on 60 and 42-yard receptions.
Yeah, really good. Make the first guy miss. We got hats for everybody else. They actually triggered secondary. I couldn't see who it was, but he triggered quick, and Brody felt it and kind of worked back to the ball, made him miss, and picked up a first down, keep the Ranger drive alive.
Ball at the 27. Braxton Stoyer to Knutson's right. Ty will keep, nearing the 20, and that's where several Unicorn defenders, including Kenneth Harper, one of their cornerbacks, the junior, helps make the stop.
I think it was a design quarterback run, or maybe if somebody doesn't run with Pegler with the motion out of the backfield, then he runs it. But it was a good call and or good read by the quarterback there. They had 3 over 2, and then when Pegler motioned out, they ran another body out there with them. So it was a light box, so he kept it there, and again picks up a good chunk of yardage on first down.
Haug split out wide. Wick in the slot. Rangers reset, looking back toward that sideline.
They got numbers down here if they want to run zone. There it is.
On 2nd and 5, Pegler coming right. Forcing his way to right around the 15, and yet another Ranger first down.
Yeah, Rangers, they ran like a hard count there, and if you get them to jump off sides, great. It's a free 5 yards, but really what they were doing is they were checking the alignment of the defense, and Coach Hill and his offensive coaches up in the box saw that to the field we had numbers all the way down to a lone safety. We had hats for everybody else, so they called the outside zone play. Ends up picking up a good chunk of yardage and another first down. So Rangers 1st and 10 from the 15.
2 receivers to our side. It's Luke Peace on the inside. Knutson make that Braxton Sawyer on the inside. It's Pegler who gets to carry inside the 15 to right around the 12. So 3 yards will bring up 2nd and 7.
And we know that New Braunfels is dedicated to stopping the run anywhere in the field, but especially down here inside the red zone. They're committing numbers into the box. And at that time we had a single receiver both sides, and it was man press, solo coverage on both of them. Be interested to see if we don't pick up the first down here, if we try to take advantage of that with a one-on-one with someone like with Hunter Haug.
Brody Wick goes in motion. Knutson rolling to his right, looks to keep. Spinning his way inside the 10, and Ty a nice job. It looked like he was going to be met for a stop at right around the line of scrimmage. Instead, he picks up several yards.
He does, and all of that was after the first contact. It was well played by New Braunfels. Tried to run that little naked bootleg, not a designed throw, just a quarterback keep that we ran so often with Spradling last year. Ran it there, and they played it well, and they were home, and they made first contact right at the line of scrimmage. But Ty, with his big old frame, kept them legs pumping and ends up picking up a good chunk of yardage, making it 3rd and manageable.
Ty been offered by the likes of Texas A&M, UTSA. 3rd and 3 at the 8.
Got a height advantage one-on-one.
Sawyer in motion. Pegler gets the carry inside the 5, and a 1st and goal coming for the Rangers.
Or we just keep handing it off to number 3.
Not a bad idea.
He's like I mentioned earlier, he's running downhill and he's running angry right now. Yes, we do have one-on-one on the outside, but a higher percentage play right there is handing it off on ISO straight downhill with your back who's running hard right now. So first down, 1st and goal inside the 4. I'd imagine we might have some motions and things like that, but be surprised if the ball's not in number 3's hands a couple times here.
We're under 6.5 minutes in a quarter in which Smithson Valley has had the ball the entirety of the quarter to this point. Pegler. Initial contact, not enough to stop him. Caleb into the end zone for a 2nd time tonight.
And again, initially played well by New Braunfels. They had a guy at the line of scrimmage, an unblocked safety, come downhill and made a hit at the line of scrimmage, and that just shows how physical and how strong Pegler is, because it doesn't even knock him backwards. He just kind of jump cuts off to the side and is able to end up walking into the end zone after contact happened at the line of scrimmage. So, again, good blocking up front, but good physical, tough running by Caleb Pegler.
Caleb's 17th touchdown of 2025. Trent Amaya's extra point is true. The Rangers take a 14-0 lead with 6:19 remaining before the break, and we'll be right back right here on the Rangers Network.
95-yard drive.
United Rentals understands that your routine is never routine. That's why we stand in the same dirt, ready to help you work with unmatched equipment and expertise that turn worries into wins. So as the weather shifts, plans change, and project complexity increases, we stand united with you. United Rentals. Work united.
From fall to winter to spring, every season starts with a roof inspection. As proud gold sponsors of the Smithson Valley Athletic Program, we know this community on and off your roof. On your roof, our game plan starts with identifying storm-related damages.
They inspect up there to catch anything we miss down here.
From minor repairs to full roof replacements, we have the...
As Amaya kicks us away, kick that goes out of bounds, and the Unicorns will have an option here. But Brian, while we were away, reminding that this drive started at the 5-yard line, the one on which the Rangers just scored, following that big hit by Philip Smith that led to the fumble and then the recovery. So 95 yards in what is essentially a 14-point swing, potentially, because the Unicorns were, as mentioned, at the 5.
Yeah, and it was first and goal at the. It was first and goal at about the 8, and he was going to be inside about the 2 or 3 yard line. So they're about to have second and goal at about the 2, and then the big hit by Smith, and then Smithson Valley just methodically. Maybe 1 or 2 passes, a little bootleg or something like that, but majority of it run, and a long time-consuming drive, and just a real. If you're New Braunfels, how are you going to react here offensively? You turn the ball over, have a chance to get points, don't get anything, and then Smithson Valley goes on a long drive and touchdown. See how they respond and how the Ranger defense, after a long break and well-rested, see how they respond as well.
With that front 7 of the Rangers converging, holding a team meeting at the ball carrier. Carry is Harley Ramirez getting some action. He's 25, whereas Brock Stewart, their listed starter, is number 26.
And I see him over on the sideline, so I was wondering if after that hit, is he okay? But he's standing right there by the coach with the helmet on, chin strap buckled, like he's ready to go back in. So hopefully he's just getting a breather and he's not banged up after taking that hard hit from Smith at the end of the last drive.
Ramirez picking up a yard. 2nd and 9 at the 31. And the officials discussing something. New Braunfels squad that, as mentioned, lost for the first time in 2025 last week, a game in which they led Piper 24-7. The Warriors came back to beat them 28-24. Before that,
2nd and 9 at the 31. There is no foul for delay of game. Please reset the game clock to 25. Thank you.
That's interesting. So the clock hit 0, but no penalty, apparently. Or it was closing in on 0?
Maybe they felt that the refs took a long time to get the ball spotted, so they didn't have a fair advantage, and maybe he pumped it trying to reset it, and the game clock guy didn't see it or something.
Gotcha. 31. At the 31-yard line, pitch goes in motion. Ramirez got the carry just moments ago. Out of the flat here, near first down yardage, down at the 38, 3rd and 2 coming.
And a good little play design there. Ball is actually caught at or behind the line of scrimmage, which when that happens, it's technically, if it's not past the line of scrimmage, you're allowed to block downfield. And so the receivers that are out there were already blocking the DBs even before the receiver caught the ball. If the receiver was past the line of scrimmage, that'd be illegal, but he was right on the line of scrimmage. So really good play design to be able to, basically an extension of your run game, picks up a good gain, bring up 3rd and short. They're in a heavy set.
Reserve running back Harley Ramirez responsible for the 9 unicorn yards so far on this possession. Gola keeps first down near the 45.
Yeah, jumbo package, and they bring their wide receiver Pitts in motion and fake it to him, and Pitts is hustling over there to the sideline saying, "Coach, I don't like that play," because Woods, his responsibility is to get upfield and stop the jet sweep. So he went ahead and tackled the guy without the ball, which he's supposed to do, but picks up a good gain with New Braunfels hitting it right downhill. And I think that was a big first down for them after what transpired at the end of last drive for them, and Smiths Valley answering with a touchdown. They needed to come out here and take some time off the clock, give their defense a breather, and try to get some momentum and take some time off before half, because Smiths Valley gets the ball coming out of halftime. So they're trying to take as much clock as they can. Even if they can't score, don't give Smiths Valley offense another chance.
Well, they take a timeout here. It's the first timeout taken by either team, and we'll take it with them. Rangers on top 14-0. New Braunfels looking to get something going. They've got the ball. We're back after this on the Rangers Network.
Every shoe they've ever worn has been black. That little voice they hear inside their heads is Coach Larry Hill. When asked their favorite color, they all agree it's always navy. They all believe that the baseball team, a certain law enforcement group, and the 4x4 side-by-side were all named after them. The only thing on their Christmas list is Whataburger gift cards. Each of them has officially changed their middle name to Smithson. When choosing their jersey number, they all answered anything but the number 1. They are the most Rangers in the world.
Stay Navy, my friend.
4:08 remaining in the first half. 2 6-1 programs. The Rangers getting the better of the Unicorns thus far, 14-0. New Braunfels with the ball at their own 43 and a 1st and 10. Swing and then another pass, and wide open is Caden Mills.
Doesn't matter. It's coming back. Illegal formation.
There's the penalty marker. I don't think Mills knows it. Neither do his teammates. They have not seen the laundry yet. Now they're getting a sense as Mills is making his way back toward the sideline, and now the offensive line is making its way back as well.
Yeah, I don't think Mills was on the line of scrimmage, and so they were kind of in an overset so that they could run the bubble screen and then release him. And either he was covered up or he wasn't on the – oh, they're canceling it?
Well, head coach Brad Mulder was making a case.
Yeah, a little trick play.
Result of the play is a touchdown.
Never mind on the penalty.
I mean, the referee threw it right away. I mean, like he had eyes on it, and it did look like a somewhat of an odd formation, but they run a little trick play, throw it out on the little bubble screen, and then the outside receiver fake blocks for a little while and then releases. The entire defense triggers on it. And so they're able to get a touchdown, still leaving Smiths Valley plenty of time, but they do get their first points of the game, 14-7.
Lyric Lally ended up throwing that pass after he got what essentially was the lateral for that to be a legal play, and then he found a wide open Caden Mills, and Mills doing the rest and scoring his 5th touchdown of the season. And so we've got 3:58 remaining, and the Unicorns have cut this thing in half. Talked about their 6-1 record coming in. They beat Madison to start, 35-31. Beat Canyon in the Worst Bowl, 41-15. Blank Del Rio, 41-0. Beat MacArthur, 35-7. District Play started with a 42-3 victory against Victoria East. Beat Champion 27-17. And then came the loss last week to Piper. And so from their perspective, they're coming in here saying if we can get a win, then we'd have one loss, the Rangers would have one loss, Piper would have one loss, and then we'll see what shakes out the rest of the way. So a big game for them, and a big game in any sense when you look at district standings, any way you cut it up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if New Braunfels was able to pull this off and get a win, it would be a three-way tie. And if all three teams win their remaining games and everybody finishes with one loss on the season, then it would, and since obviously everybody beat each other, then it would go to a point differential. And so far, Smithson Valley is plus 10 by beating Piper. I believe it was 27-17. So they would be plus 10. So the Rangers, at the very least, do not want to lose by more than 10 to kind of be left out or be a lower seed based off a point differential.
Knutson, 3 receivers, 2 to our side on the first play of this next possession. Rolling to his right. Luke Peace in and out of his hands. Double covered. Nice job of Luke even getting hands on that ball, but falls short, falls incomplete, I should say, and now 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, it was good coverage. Like I said, and that Ty put it in about the one spot you could that didn't get picked off even prior to that, and pretty good job by Peace of kind of playing defense there a little bit late to ensure that it wasn't intercepted. But this is a big drive for Smithson Valley's offense after kind of giving up a trick play for a touchdown and only under 4 minutes left here. What you would love in an ideal scenario is take all the time off the clock, score right before half, and then get the ball coming out of half and kind of double dip it. But first things first, got to get a first down, get the drive going.
Peace, the Rangers' second leading receiver in terms of receptions with 22 coming in. Piegler to the 30. Maybe the 29. We'll see where they spot it. I think it's the 29. That'll bring up 3rd and 6.
And Piegler's come limping off the field. Hopefully it got stepped on or something like that. But regardless, sophomore number 22, Gunnar Showquist, is going to come into the game for Piegler while he gets checked out by the medical staff on the sideline. Obviously, he's a huge role on the Ranger offense, so hopefully he's okay. But in the meantime, big third down here for the Rangers. All of a sudden, you're up 14-0 and kind of running the game, and then they get a quick strike, and your first kind of 3rd and long of the game after New Braunfels got some momentum. And so
on 3rd and 6, Knutson over the middle looking. Haug incomplete. Coverage by Kingston Brown, sophomore cornerback for the Unicorns, and the Rangers will punt it away for the first time tonight.
Yeah, looks like a little bit of hand fighting there and a little bit of grabbing, but the ball was a little bit behind Hunter, and so he had to try to come back through the body of the defender. So again, Rangers got to have their first punt. Momentum's a little bit on New Braunfels' side, although Smithson Valley still leads by 7 points. Last thing you want to do is, kind of give up two touchdowns right here before the halftime and give New Braunfels all the momentum heading into the locker room.
As many of you know, Amaya Honey handles punting duties as well. That one a low liner out of bounds at the 45, I believe they're going to say, of the Unicorns. So New Braunfels will start a possession in which, if things go well for them, could end up with them tying the ball game. They'll start such that drive at the 45.
Yeah, and with a short punt, Amaya into this heavy breeze, tried to keep it low out of that wind and let it roll, but the wind is kind of a crosswind and into your face, kind of just shoved it out of bounds. And so New Braunfels with great field position at the 45-yard line after a short punt.
Gola's shotgun. Out route complete, and then a move, and stepping out of bounds is Grant Franklin.
Yeah, run heavy set there to ensure that the safeties have to come into the box, and a long, slow developing deep out route, and a really long throw there from the opposite hash, throwing it out. So an impressive throw there. And he stepped out of bounds, had a good move on McGee there, stepped out of bounds, or he could have gone for even more. So all of a sudden, New Braunfels is threatening, got some momentum going. They're cross midfield and seeing if they could punch one in right before half.
Gola, first year as a starting quarterback for the Unicorns. He's a senior, transferred in. Lets it go just a little too long. Again, looking for Franklin.
Yeah, had him capped that time. Played cover 2, so good job by Camacho playing the deep safety and kind of pedaling off the hash. So it forced Gola to have to throw one of those hole shots. And if that ball had a little bit more air on it, would have given time for Camacho to maybe come over and get an interception or have a big hit. But regardless, good coverage by the Rangers But so far, barring that first possession or two, the New Braunfels O-line's kind of holding up a little bit more in these passing situations. So we'll see if on passing downs, if Coach Worsty decides to dial up some blitzes.
Twins to our side for the Unicorns on 2nd and 10 at the Ranger 42. That ball batted at the line of scrimmage, tipped, fell well short of the intended target, and so a 3rd and long on the way for New Braunfels.
Yeah, try to throw a quick little speed out to Mills. Anytime you get the ball in his hands with space in front of him, he's dangerous. And he did have a little bit of space, but it was great recognition by Hudson Woods. He knows he's not going to get to the quarterback in time to make a sack, and so he gets up in the air and he bats that ball down. So it brings up a 3rd and long. And as I mentioned before last play, we'll see if Coach Worsty dials up some pressure here, because their quarterback, he's got a pretty good arm. At Gola, if he can stand back there, he can deliver a ball. See if we get some pressure on him. Yep, here we go.
On 3rd and 10, here it comes. Gola running for his life. No chance.
Coach Worsty had the same thought I did. We're not going to let him sit back there and throw the ball to these explosive receivers. Now, New Braunfels does a good job. They're getting him on the move. They're trying to get him outside the pocket, but it was a great job by the play side defensive end. Not sure whether I think that is Woods recognizing the tackle, trying to reach block him, not allowing the edge, stringing it out. And so he can't get the edge, so he has to slam on the brakes. And by that time, we got linebackers and everybody. I believe that was Weston Haney from his linebacker position. So now they're going to take as much time off the clock and get it down to the 2-minute timeout before they punt here on 4th down.
Caleb Barrow picking up his 4th sack of 2025. We are at the 2-minute timeout. New Braunfels 4th and 18. And when we come back, what should be the final 2 minutes of the first half right here on the Rangers Network.
From fall to winter to spring, every season starts with a roof inspection. As proud gold sponsors of the Smithson Valley Athletic Program, we know this community on and off your roof. On your roof, our game plan starts with identifying storm-related damages.
They inspect up there to catch anything we miss down here.
From minor repairs to full roof replacements, we have the people and material to fix any roof and protect your family. Links Roofing, peace of mind in any season.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Jeremy Fuller State Farm, United Rentals, Links Roofing, Orthopedic Performance Institute, Frost Bank, The Branch, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge, Christopher Ashley Pools, Singer Services, Methodist Healthcare, and Wick Productions.
Unicorns punting it away on 4th and 18 with exactly 2 minutes remaining before both teams head into the locker room. Hunter Haug, the punt return, gets a couple of blocks, cuts to 20, the 30, tripped up it right across that 30-yard line near the 35.
Yeah, with 1:47 seconds left, not in a super big hurry. You got 3 timeouts still. And so the last thing that you want to do is, throw it incomplete 3 times, take no time off the clock, and now have to punt back into that stout wind and give New Braunfels one more shot before halftime. So I would imagine that Smithson Valley's not going to be in a hurry until they get that first down. Once they get a first down, okay, now we got some momentum. We're moving the ball. We're past midfield. Now we can start hurrying some things up. But at the very least, you want to take a 14-7 lead into halftime. So wouldn't expect, if there are some passes early, might be some short possession type throws. And if it's 3rd and long or something like that, might hand the ball off and make them use a timeout.
Gunnar Showquist back in there at that featured back across. It's Brody Wick. Nice job of securing that one in tight space. Good coverage. Made the catch anyway.
Yeah, now they will hurry because they got their first down, so they're going to go into their 2-minute drill. Plenty of time, 3 timeouts. Throw it away.
His own 44, it's Wick again. Couple of passes, both to Wick to start this 2-minute drill, though Brody gets out of bounds. Now they restart the clock. I guess they're going to say he was marked down inbound, and so hurrying back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're going to say his progress was stopped inbounds, but 2 really good catches by him, and Rangers across midfield. Again, no need to rush. They got 3 timeouts. Now you're into a steady breeze, and so you got to get pretty close to get into Maya's range, more so than what you normally would have to.
Here's Showquist. His first carry of the possession, first carry of the game, in fact, near the 43.
Coach Hill going to use one of his timeouts, trying to maybe catch New Braunfels off guard just a little bit, pick up that first down by running it. But that time, New Braunfels defense has a good stop. But still, Smithson Valley taking a timeout. Still got 2 left, 58 seconds. It'll be interesting to see here if Smithson Valley doesn't pick up this first down. You've got to think that they want to punt it. They're not trying to give momentum. But if it is, if we do get a couple yards and it's 4th and 1, you know, what are you going to do here? Kind of in that no man's land there. But I just assume go ahead and pick up the first down here on 3rd.
Yeah, do that. Don't have to worry about the scenarios. Yeah. Talked about Wick's last 2 games being pretty impressive against Seguin and Wagner for the season with 3 receptions tonight. Brody, 18 catches here in 2025. Came in averaging 16.7 yards per reception. 3 touchdowns, all of them coming over those last 2 weeks. 48-7 victory over Wagner 2 weeks ago, a 56-10 pasting of Seguin last week. Both of them on the road as the Rangers are playing their first game here at Ranger Stadium since that September 26th victory against Piper.
He was on the road 2 straight games, and so back here at home. See what the Rangers do here on 3rd and 3. Haug soloed up down here.
Knutson looks to keep. First down. Needed the 40, got right across it. Ty nearly 160 yards rushing coming into tonight, so he's well over that. Scored 5 touchdowns via the grounds. Longest run, 19 yards.
One-on-one down here with Haug. I keep waiting for him to take a shot. Got one-on-one.
Clock is down to 32 and counting. That one nearly picked. Looking in the direction of Gunnar Showquist, and with other ideas was Kenneth Harper.
Yeah, kind of baited Ty into. He dropped off like he was going to get underneath the deeper route and then stuck his foot in the ground and undercut it. Fortunate there because obviously nobody was going to catch him with the running start that he had. That would have been worst case scenario right there. So Smithson Valley fortunate to it just being incomplete. But again, I keep waiting for that opportunity with Haug soloed up down here unless they play cover 2 on top of it. Got a one-on-one down here versus and Haug. He's a good 6'2", 6'3". He's got a height advantage as well, and he's soloed up again. Here he goes.
Knutson looking that direction, whistles.
Had him beat. What's the whistle?
That's a good question.
False start. Oh, they had it.
Well, if it's not a false start, even the more reason to be upset because you impeded what would have been a big play. If the penalty is on your
There is no foul.
Oh,
for
boy.
defensive hold. Prior to the snap. False start. Offense.
Okay.
Number 19. 5-yard penalty.
We'll see if New Braunfels makes
down.
an adjustment here and keeps their safety, number 4, Kane Bunch, over on the hash. But we're in a 3-by-1. It's gonna be one-on-one down here again. He's playing press coverage.
Knutson looking the same. How being held. There's the flag. He made the catch anyway. Out of bounds at the 20.
Yeah, he was being held, and he made a heck of a catch. Ball came out late, and the refs, that's what they're talking about right now. Did he have possession prior to going to the ground? So that's what Coach Hill is asking. Hey, is it a catch right here? Do we need to move back and accept the penalty? So they're discussing it right now. Looks like they're going to call it
the completion.
A completion. There was that one-on-one again, and even while getting held, he was still able to eventually break free. And again, if they're just going to keep doing that,
pass
and
interference,
rolling their coverage
defense,
over there,
number 18. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
So with that great catch by Haug, the Rangers now with the 20, it's going to stand. 22 seconds remaining. The Rangers still have 2 timeouts. Here comes Haug coming toward us, and here comes a Ranger timeout.
Yep. Tried to run a little reverse there. At some point, you got to think Coach Hill and staff has kind of a fake reverse off of that. Then one of the other receivers kind of fake block and go. That time they're just trying to get down inside the 10-yard line, picking up a first down. Ended up losing yardage on the play. So Smithson Valley has to burn their second timeout. Still got 16 seconds left. So really, I mean, all of the passing arsenal is open right now. You don't necessarily have to throw to the sideline to get out of bounds because clock does stop for momentarily on a first down. So even if you throw it over the middle and get a first down, doesn't necessarily mean you have to take the timeout. You can hustle up, spike the ball, still save that last timeout. So a lot of options here, and we're getting close. We're at the 23-yard line, which makes it a 40-yard field goal with even as strong as Amaya's leg is. This is a really, really healthy breeze. I still think he could probably get it from here, but to breathe a little bit easier, you want to at least get another 5 or 10 yards to get it within comfort range against this wind.
Amaya's knocked through 4 field goals so far this season. Strong leg, and so as Brian mentioned, distance here not so much the issue, but the elements are what make it more difficult. Look at Trent warming up, a young man who Coach Larry says plays his position just about as well as anybody on our team plays their position. Second down, 13.
New Braunfels following Haug with their best corner, Kingston Brown, going with him.
Knutson looking. Luke Peace crossed the 18, tackled inbounds. And there's the Rangers taking their final timeout with 7 ticks left.
Yeah, so kind of that gray area there. You'd love to have 9 or 10 seconds to where you can definitely get one more play off, take a shot to the end zone where either you score or it's incomplete and still have time to kick that field goal. With 7 seconds left on the 19, it's going to take a little bit of time for the wide receivers to get all the way down to the end zone. Last thing you want to do is complete the ball inbounds and the clock run out or take a sack. And so looks like the Rangers not having the kicking unit out there yet. So they'll try to take one shot into the end zone and try to get it out quick. Ty can't hold it very long. Every second that you hold it is another one ticking off, and we'll get you down to halftime. So that's what Coach Hill and his staff is saying right now is, hey, we got to have a quick hit and play. It's either a touchdown or incomplete with about 2 seconds left, and we'll send Amaya out there. So I would expect some sort of quick route, whether it's kind of a back shoulder fade on a line or maybe a quick hitting post, but it's got to carry into the end zone because you won't have enough time. Even if you get a first down, even the clock stops momentarily for the chains to move. By the time you get back up there, that clock will be running out. So it's either got to be in the end zone, touchdown, or incomplete.
If you're wondering, because they're at the 19, it would be about a 36-yard field goal had they gone in that direction. 7 ticks left, offense on the field, and now New Braunfels wants to talk. They still got a timeout remaining after this one.
Yeah, I wanted to see Smithson Valley's formation, so let Smithson Valley line up, and now they're going to take a timeout, and they're going to talk about it. What plays have we seen out of this formation? What could they run? And honestly, where is Haug? Because he's kind of the number one receiver. But, you know, if they want to double team him, there's some other great options too. As you mentioned, Brody Wick has had a big last couple weeks. You got the tight end piece who's as sure-handed as they come, especially for a sophomore. And so we'll see if Smithson Valley comes out in a different formation. And if they do, we'll see if New Braunfels uses their last time out there. But you're right, I did jinx it. I said when we went to break, I said, man, that's the fastest first half. And he said, watch, the last 2 or 3 minutes is going to take forever. And it has, with all the timeouts, 2-minute warnings, and all that type of stuff.
So the first 16 minutes of game time took about, 40 minutes of actual clock?
It was 7:39 when I said that with 4 minutes left.
So since then,
the last 4 minutes have taken
like 35 minutes roughly.
Yeah, so. All right, we'll see what the Rangers got up their sleeve.
7 seconds. They're at the 19. It's 3rd and 9, although that is relatively academic right now unless you can find a way to get 2 plays off quickly with no timeouts.
They did change their formation. They went from a 3-by-1 to a 2-by-2. Now motion in the backfield. Still have one-on-one over here.
There's the shot to Haug in the end zone. Incomplete. No penalty markers.
Now it's real interesting. It's going to be half the distance to the goal, 1 second left. But even if there wasn't 1 second left, it would be an untimed down on a defensive penalty. So it looks like the Rangers will send out their kicking crew now. Exactly what you want right there. And by putting Haug as the outside receiver to multiples.
There is a penalty marker on the play.
Yeah, it's defensive pass interference.
Okay.
Down in the end zone. Defensive pass interference. So it'll be half the distance to the goal, helping Amaya out a little bit there.
Okay.
Into that win. But it was smart by Smithson Valley. If you put Haug one-on-one, they can cover to it and roll a safety help over the top. But when you put him as the outside receiver to multiples,
automatic.
It's tough to do that because the safety has to defend the inside skinny post route. And so went up, took a shot, defensive pass interference, and so now ball's at the 4-yard line. So wind or no wind, Amaya's got plenty of leg for this.
21-yard field goal attempt officially. One tick, snap, hold, kick. Rangers take a 17-7 lead into the locker room. Halftime is next, and then what should be a fun second half between two 6-1 ball clubs right here on the Rangers Network. We're back after this.
We would like to thank Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge for sponsoring our Rangers. They are a huge part of our community and have Ranger athletes of their very own. Thanks, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge. The Rangers appreciate Jeremy Fuller State Farm's support year after year of our Smithson Valley athletes. If you need home, auto, insurance, and more, call Jeremy Fuller State Farm today. Our Smithson Valley athletes appreciate the branch for all of their support. They keep our hungry athletes fed and contribute towards scholarships and overall athletic needs year after year. The Rangers appreciate you. Smithson Valley Ranger athletes appreciate Christopher Ashley Pulls. Thank you for all of your support. They are a big part of our community and have their very own Ranger athletes. When you are ready to complete your backyard paradise, Christopher Ashley Pulls can bring your vision to life.
Every shoe they've ever worn has been black. That little voice they hear inside their heads is Coach Larry Hill. When asked their favorite color, they all agree it's always navy. They all believe that the baseball team, a certain law enforcement group, and the 4x4 side-by-side were all named after them. The only thing on their Christmas list is Whataburger gift cards. Each of them has officially changed their middle name to Smithson. When choosing their jersey number, they all answered anything but the number 1. They are the most Rangers in the world.
Stay Navy, my friend.
It is so crazy to think that I wore that, my final game, my senior year.
I was in the science club, and I was a member of the first golf team at Canyon High School.
I'm proud to be alumni of Comal ISD because of the community and support that they give us. Teachers and coaches that poured into me gave me the confidence to come back and have those leadership skills to pour into these kids the way I was.
Being a graduate of Comal ISD has impacted my life just because of the connections I've made, and it makes me want to carry myself in a way that represents the district as a whole. I currently play football here at Trinity. I'm an accounting major. I'm a junior here.
The reason I decided to run for the board was I loved my experience in Comal. And when I realized that there was an opportunity to not only shape my own children's lives, but that of 30,000 children and 3,500 staff members to just grow greatness, to go out into the world to be better citizens for tomorrow. So it is a true passion of mine that Comal ISD continues to go that path.
It's really neat knowing that a lot of these girls grew up coming to watch, and even last year I had a girl that graduated and she had showed me pictures and film of her sitting in the stands when I played, and I thought that was super cool, and she's expressed to me how neat it is for her to play for me.
It set a foundation that has led me to create a very successful family insurance business and serve over 28 years in public office, both locally and at the state level.
Knowing that I'm part of a bigger family of an amazing group of individuals, and just going to school in San Antonio, I often run into more alumni of Kamala SD, and just getting the chance to talk to them and seeing their experiences and seeing where they are now is amazing.
Oh my goodness, it's tradition, it's pride. I think it's something that there's no better compliment than being raised here and then coming back to have your kids have a similar experience as my own. And while my heart is all Navy, you better believe you'll find me with my purple community cheering on those Warriors in the Friday night lights at the Coliseum.
Cougar spirit still lives in me, and when I went to Kenyon High School, we were the only high school in the district. And now look at it. It's one of the largest, most prolific districts in the Central Texas area, both athletically and scholastically. And so I'm very proud of that.
Gavin, appreciate you joining us again. I'm Chris Cooley. We're here from the GBTC Foundation, and we want to talk to you about the scholarship you applied for with us, the CTE, the Career and Technical Education Scholarship. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, sir.
Where did you find out about this scholarship from? How did you hear about it?
Actually, one of my friends texted it to me just because they knew I participated in the CTEs.
Well, let me tell you, that is a very good friend, because we're here to tell you you have won the 2025 GBTC Foundation $7,500 CTE Scholarship. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. How are y'all doing today?
Good.
I think.
Well, sorry to call you down to the office. This is Chris Cooley, and we're here with the GBTC Foundation. We wanted to talk to you about the Ola Armstrong Scholarship that you applied for. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you've applied for quite a few, right? There's a lot of scholarships out there, but we're here to tell you that you are the recipient of the 2025 $15,000 Ola Armstrong Scholarship from the GBTC Foundation. Congratulations to you.
I couldn't be more proud. Thank you so much.
Well, hello, Riley. This is Chris Cooley here from the GBTC Foundation. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Well, sorry to catch you on the road.
No, you're good.
We looks like you're in trouble here. There's a lot of people here, but we've got some questions about your application. This is regarding our GBTC Foundation Richie T. Sorrells Scholarship.
Yes, sir.
Does that ring a bell?
Yes, sir, it does.
I'm sure you filled out a lot of applications. We see you're on the road. I know you're coming back from a school trip, so we'll jump right to it and tell you congratulations. You are the recipient of the 2025 GBTC Foundation $25,000 Richie T. Sorrells Scholarship. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I was not expecting this.
Well, I plan on going into graphic design at Texas State University, and hopefully afterwards being able to use that in my own career experience and hopefully start a business or work through a business, learning on that.
Well, I just want to start by saying thank you to the GBTC Foundation again for giving me this opportunity. It will go a long way in helping pay for college by covering just a chunk of my first semester or more. I'm planning to do something with math, not quite sure yet, but perhaps actuarial science, and this will definitely help further my education in that. So thank you very much again.
So this is going to go towards my education at Texas A&M University. I plan to major in animal science and pursue a career in veterinary medicine, whether that be through working in a vet clinic or product development and research. It's been a passion of mine for many, many years, and I plan to pursue that further in the future. I want to say thank y'all so much for all that y'all do to support youth development in our community. It means so much to me and countless other youth, and it really encourages youth in our community, whether that by acknowledging their leadership, community service, and hard work. So I just want to say thank you for everything that y'all do to support youth in our community. It means so much to me and countless others.
Congratulations to all of you, to the students and to your parents as well. It's a big day for y'all, but it's also a really big day for all of us. As Richie mentioned, this is who we are. So I think for us, you know, what we do in the community and investing in the students, to have a day like this, to be able to come and see the faces, and see, and I know the people that get to award these, they get to see the real surprises when you guys get them, which is great. I think they video that so we can see it too. But it's just a great day for all of us. And so glad y'all are here to all celebrate this together.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Jeremy Fuller State Farm, United Rentals, Lynx Roofing, Orthopedic Performance Institute, Frost Bank, The Branch, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge, Christopher Ashley Pools, Singer Services, Methodist Healthcare, and Wick Productions. We would like to thank Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge for sponsoring our Rangers. They are a huge part of our community and have Ranger athletes of their very own. Thanks, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge. The Rangers appreciate Jeremy Fuller State Farm's support year after year of our Smithson Valley athletes. If you need home, auto, insurance, and more, call Jeremy Fuller State Farm today. Our Smithson Valley athletes appreciate the branch for all of their support. They keep our hungry athletes fed and contribute towards scholarships and overall athletic needs year after year. The Rangers appreciate you. Smithson Valley Ranger athletes appreciate Christopher Ashley Pools. Thank you for all of your support. They are a big part of our community and have their very own Ranger athletes. When you are ready to complete your backyard paradise, Christopher Ashley Pools can bring your vision to life.
Every shoe they've ever worn has been black. That little voice they hear inside their heads is Coach Larry Hill. When asked their favorite color, they all agree it's always navy. They all believe that the baseball team, a certain law enforcement group, and the 4x4 side-by-side were all named after them. The only thing on their Christmas list is Whataburger gift cards. Each of them has officially changed their middle name to Smithson. When choosing their jersey number, they all answered anything but the number 1. They are the most Rangers in the world.
Stay Navy, my friend.
It is so crazy to think that I wore that my final game, my senior year.
I was in the science club, and I was a member of the first golf team at Kenyon High School.
I'm proud to be alumni of Comal ISD because of the community and support that they give us. Teachers and coaches that poured into me gave me the confidence to come back and have those leadership skills to pour into these kids the way I was.
Being a graduate of Comal ISD has impacted my life just because of the connections I've made, and it makes me want to carry myself in a way that represents the district as a whole. I currently play football here at Trinity. I'm an accounting major. I'm a junior here.
The reason I decided to run for the board was I loved my experience in Comal. And when I realized that there was an opportunity to not only shape my own children's lives, but that of 30,000 children and 3,500 staff members to just grow greatness, to go out into the world to be better citizens for tomorrow. So it is a true passion of mine that Comal ISD continues to go that path.
It's really neat knowing that a lot of these girls grew up coming to watch, and even last year I had a girl that graduated and she had showed me pictures and film of her sitting in the stands when I played. And and I thought that was super cool, and she's expressed to me how neat it is for her to play for me.
It set a foundation that has led me to create a very successful family insurance business and serve over 28 years in public office, both locally and at the state level.
Knowing that I'm part of a bigger family of an amazing group of individuals, and just going to school in San Antonio, I often run into more alumni of Kamala SD, and just getting the chance to talk to them and seeing their experiences and seeing where they are now is amazing.
Oh my goodness, it's tradition, it's pride. I think it's something that there's no better compliment than being raised here and then coming back to have your kids have a similar experience as my own. And while my heart is all Navy, you better believe you'll find me with my purple community cheering on those Warriors in the Friday night lights at the Coliseum.
Cougar spirit still lives in me, and when I went to Kenyon High School, we were the only high school in the district. And now look at it. It's one of the largest, most prolific districts in the Central Texas area, both athletically and scholastically. And so I'm very proud of that.
Gavin, appreciate you joining us again. I'm Chris Cooley. We're here from the GBTC Foundation, and we wanted to talk to you about the scholarship you applied for with us, the CTE, the Career and Technical Education Scholarship. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, sir.
Where did you find out about this scholarship from? How did you hear about it?
Actually, one of my friends texted it to me just because they knew I participated in the CTEs.
Well, let me tell you, that is a very good friend, because we're here to tell you you have won the 2025 GBTC Foundation 7000. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. How are y'all doing today?
Good.
I think.
Well, sorry to call you down to the office. This is Chris Cooley, and we're here with the GBTC Foundation. We wanted to talk to you about the Ola Armstrong Scholarship that you applied for. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you've applied for quite a few, right?
Keller, Senior Lieutenant Reagan Miggy, Lieutenant Colonel Sadie Salas, and your Colonel Sophie Zettler. The Social Committee President is Zoe Owens. The Silver Spurs Spirit Girl of the Week is Laura Heldman, and the Dancer of the Week is Ryan Woods. The Silverados are being led onto the field by Line Officer Anna Getty, Line Officer Elise Suarez, Line Officer Charlotte Warnock, First Line Officer Mary Grace McCash, and your Headline Officer Isla Getty. The Silverado of the Week is Mary Grace McCash, and the Dancer of the Week is Reese Sudduth. Silver Line Spirit Girl of the Week is Reese Bennett, and the Dancer of the Week is Audrina Hutra. And tonight, dancing to Runaway Baby, the SVHS dance teams will be performing with the Spring Branch Middle School Silver Stars and the Smithson Valley Middle School Sweethearts.
soft and blue, they take the flight. So don't get too close. Put it right to the button.
Robert Andrade, Scott Duncan, Travis Land, and Samantha Gazinski. Our principal is Dr. Stacia Snyder. The Ranger Band would like to thank our Ranger sponsors, Van Ryden Compliance, the Renfeld Group, the Gear Guy, South Texas Custom Pools, and Children's Eye Center of South Texas. The voice of the Ranger Band is Rochelle McClanahan. We hope you enjoyed tonight's performance, and we'll see you next week as the Rangers take on the MacArthur Brahmas at Northeast ISD's Hero Stadium.
United Rentals understands that your routine is never routine. That's why we stand in the same dirt, ready to help you work with unmatched equipment and expertise that turn worries into wins. So as the weather shifts, plans change, and project complexity increases, we stand united with you. United Rentals. Work united.
Every shoe they've ever worn has been black. That little voice they hear inside their heads is Coach Larry Hill. When asked their favorite color, they all agree it's always navy. They all believe that the baseball team, a certain law enforcement group, and the 4x4 side-by-side were all named after them. The only thing on their Christmas list is Whataburger gift cards. Each of them has officially changed their middle name to Smithson. When choosing their jersey number, they all answered anything but the number 1. They are the most Rangers in the world.
Stay Navy, my friend.
Welcome you back to Rangers Stadium. Second half about to get underway in a game that Smithson Valley leads New Braunfels 17-7 in a matchup of two 6-1 teams. The Rangers 4-0 in district play coming in. The Unicorns 3-1. The loss coming to Piper last week. And so Brian Hill, as we look at those first 24 minutes, want to get your thoughts before the Rangers get the ball first to begin the third quarter.
Yeah, it looked as if the Rangers were going to kind of just same old what's been going on the last couple weeks. You had a turnover all the way down to the 5-yard line. Smithson Valley punches it in 2 plays later. Kind of get a 3-and-out, short punt, another good field position, get a first down, and then a turnover happened. And I
after
feel,
return,
I feel
number
like
4, Hunter Hogg, number 12.
If we'd have gone up 14-0 there, I feel like we're looking at a totally different ball game. But turn the ball over, they get it, and then we kind of exchange turnovers. So a fast half. I know we joked around the last 4 minutes took a long time, but very limited possessions. I think only probably about 4 possessions per side. Both sides running the ball and not really pushing the ball down the field with a lot of incompletions with this wind. And so possessions at a premium, and so low-scoring affair. Rangers see if they can take that momentum of that last drive, getting points on the board, and kind of double dip here and extend the lead with the first drive of the second half.
Joshua Hinton boots it out of the back of the end zone, so the Rangers will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25 to start quarter number 3. Ty Knutson in that first half, 8 of 11, 83 yards, also rushed 3 times for 13 yards. Caleb Pegler, 57 yards rushing, 12 carries, 2 touchdowns, the 2 for the Rangers. Also caught a ball for 7 yards. Here's Knutson set to take the first snap of the second half. It's a give to Pegler coming right. Some good room. Good push by that offensive line of the Rangers. Some more stats here. Hunter Hogg, 2 catches, 32 yards. Had the fumble. Also carried twice for 18 yards. Aiden Verrete, a catch for 12 yards. Brody Wick, 3 receptions, 28 yards. Gunnar Showquist got a carry for 2 yards. Caleb, by the way, as you'll note, Brian, back in there after he was out the last possession and a half or so of that first half.
Good to see
and
him
Luke
back.
Peace, a catch for 4 yards. 2nd down and 8. Here we go. Pegler again, not much right after he caught the ball. Good job again tackling there by the Unicorns. Jace Ness, senior linebacker, one of several Unicorns there for the stop.
Yeah, good to see Pegler back. He does have a little bit of a limp, so hopefully we'll see. He was running angry and really making great cuts, but prior to him kind of limping off the field, so hopefully it doesn't hinder him too much, but it's always good to see him back out on the field. But Rangers, after picking up pretty decent yardage on first down, Unicorns sniffed that second one out pretty good, so 3rd and long on the first drive of the second half here for Smithson Valley's offense.
3rd and 8 to be exact. Pegler got back to the line of scrimmage. Knutson pumps, lets it go down the sideline. Too long for Hogg. Hunter saying he was held. No flag, and so 4th down coming for the Rangers. Nope, there is a penalty, but on this side of the field. It's at the 19-yard line.
Yeah, in the backfield, I don't know, Ranger offense jogging off the field. And, it looks like Coach Mulder over there is waving the decline sign. So something against the Rangers, but plays declined. So Rangers will have to punt with their first possession coming out of the half, and it's into the wind. And last time we had to punt into the wind, that side wind into his face kind of pushed Amaya's punt out of bounds for probably the shortest punt of the year. So without picking up a first down, Unicorns probably going to have pretty good field position punting into this wind.
Trent Amaya normally averages right around 41 yards per punt, but most of those not facing the wind that he's facing here. Again, a low liner. Ranger bounce inside the 35. So when it's all said and done, considering their line of scrimmage was 27, pretty good.
Yeah, real good punt into that wind. And that's why you kind of punt that tumbling low liner end over end is to try to get that roll, and he did it that time. So about as good a punt as you can ask for into a really stiff breeze. So we'll see if the Ranger defense can kind of come out and do what they did to start the game and stymie the New Braunfels offense. But was really hoping to see the Ranger offense come out there and at least get a couple first downs and get some of the momentum back. The New Braunfels kind of picked up late in the first half there.
Caleb Barrow, Kyle Bierman, Justin Roberts, Hudson Woods, the defensive line. Although Truth Duvall L, Kate Leak, Colton West get a lot of playing time. Colton Hornsby, Jacob Stover, Weston Haney, linebackers for the Rangers. And that front 7 getting to the ball in a hurry, a pickup of maybe 1 for the Unicorns.
Yeah, a little power play there. Pull and guard. play side defensive end. I think that was Leak. He gets underneath the kick-out block, which kind of just jams everything up and makes, Power's designed to hit right down the hash, right down the A-gap. And anytime that you can close real quick and make it go side to side, that's not really what it's designed for. And good job by Leak closing off the A-gap there. Good job by the linebackers flowing over the top to keep it to a minimal gain on first down.
Haug and Liam McGee, who had a big interception to start the game. The corners, Blayton Camacho and Philip Smith, who caused a big fumble also in that first quarter. The safeties, up the middle, a good burst and a good gain by running back Brock Stewart. Leading rusher for the Unicorns, 534 yards coming in on 112 carries. He scored 10 touchdowns. Also can catch it out of the backfield. 4 receptions for 84 yards that way.
Yeah, good vision by him. They loaded up the right side. Actually had two lead blockers in the backfield. Motion one over, and they're kind of hip to hip. So you're thinking it's going to be a run right all the way, which it was. But he does a good job with his vision, cutting it out the backside. Picks up a big chunk of yardage, and New Braunfels is approaching midfield with a fresh set of downs.
Shotgun for Gola. Again, it's Stewart coming left, stays on his feet, but Hornsby eventually able to get him down. Colton, 53 tackles coming in, 8 of them for loss. Very busy out of that linebacker spot. One of the very productive players for the Rangers defensively, 5 sacks. Last week, 10 tackles in that 56-10 win at Seguin.
Good stop by the defense there in the inside zone. See if we can, unlike last 2nd and 9, see if we can get a stop here and make it 3rd and long.
4 receivers for Gola. Rolling to his right, looking over the middle is complete. First down yardage for the Unicorns. Once again, the reception this time going to Kenneth Harper. Little two-way action for Harper, who's also a cornerback for the Unicorns.
Yeah, and a good job again just finding that window. The initial reads was well covered. Had some pressure up the field by the defensive end Woods, so good job by their quarterback. Goal of kind of getting underneath that pressure and then still keeping his eyes downfield, and a good job by the receiver kind of settling in a window for his quarterback, much like they did in the first half. And the Unicorns are in business in Smithson Valley territory.
Cameron Pitts, the lone receiver to our side. Grant Franklin split out to the right of Gola. Handoff. Stewart, nothing there. Hudson Woods erasing him in the backfield.
That was the same play they ran on 2nd and 9 that first time. Jumbo's heavy set in the backfield, 2 lead blockers, and in the first time they cut it back and picked up a big gain. And that time I think the running back Brock Stewart kind of predetermined that, hey, same as last time, I'm going to cut this thing back. Well, that time Smithson Valley was ready for it, and the cutback was not there. Hudson Woods closed it up, and a big tackle for loss on first down.
Hudson, 21 tackles to start the night, 9 of those for loss, 5 sacks. The leading sack getter for this Ranger defense. Loss of 3 in the previous play, so on 2nd and 13, it's Stewart coming left and gets a couple back. Literally, I think they're going to give him 2. So 3rd and 11, actually officially on the scoreboard, 3rd and 12 for the Unicorns at the Smithson Valley 37.
Yeah, just a great fit inside out from the linebacker Hornsby there. Making a lot of plays, calling his name a lot. That middle linebacker position at Smithson Valley, you got to be a dude to play that spot. There's a lot of dudes that have played that position, and he's filling it well. We're calling his name quite a bit throughout the whole season. He's playing really, really, really well.
On 3rd and 12, Gola looking to his left, screen set up, but Smithson, breaking initial tackle. I was going to say Smithson Valley had it read well. Nice job of breaking through that first wave of would-be tacklers, but still well short of the first down.
Great play recognition by the linebacker, number 25, Weston Haney. Wasn't able to get him on the ground initially, but at least slowed him up, slowed the momentum, and the Rangers rallied to keep it to a minimal gain, bringing up a 4th down. But the screen play is one of New Braunfels' favorite long yardage plays, especially against the aggressiveness of the Ranger D-line. Typically that's a good play, but great recognition by Haney. Stoning them right there, and looks like they're in that in-between no man's land, so New Braunfels is going to go for it on 4th and 9.
4th and 9, as Brian just said. Corbin Hollander, the reception on the previous play. Gola has some room in front of him. He wants it. He takes it. That's going to depend on the spot. Hornsby got him, What are the officials going to say about where the ball is going to go?
He stretched the ball out late, but I think his foot had already stepped on the line, and he was already out of bounds before he extended that ball. So they're going to mark him short. So you can see right there on the replay, great hit by Hornsby. Yeah, he's short of the first down of the line to gain, and it was a great play by him. Hornsby was just sitting, waiting, trying to stay in coverage, and then when Gola decided to take off running, Hornsby triggers, knocks him out of bounds just early, and the Rangers get off the field on a 4th down. Big stop after the Ranger offense goes 3 and out. So we'll see what the offense does if they reward the defense for the 4th down stop and get some points on the board here.
Leading tackler for the Rangers makes yet another big one, 53 coming into tonight. And essentially the 3rd turnover forced by this Ranger D. A fumble, an interception, and now a turnover on downs. Knutson keeps on 1st and 10, 3, maybe 4.
Good positive play on 1st down there. Spread everybody out. I believe there was some quick little passes out wide with each one of the wide receivers. If he looked out there and liked numbers, then he could throw those. But if they widen out to kind of cover up those guys, he has the option to run it. So wisely chooses light box to go ahead and run and picks up a good gain on 1st down, bringing up 2nd and manageable.
6 yards to be exact needed to move the sticks. Isaiah Reggie's into the mat game. So is Jacob Kirk for the Rangers. Interesting there, Brian, in that a lot of times you see those guys in the second half, but it's when the Rangers fumble, the ball's on the turf. The Rangers were able to recover it.
Fortunate bounce there. Showquist fumbled and then fell right back on top of it. So super fortunate. Although it's going to bring up a 3rd and long, obviously a turnover at the 30-yard line would be huge momentum swing for the Unicorns there. So very fortunate to get back on the ball. Looks like it is Showquist, and so hopefully Piegler's just getting a breather. See him over here on the bike. Got Howe not on the field either, and so we'll see what Smithson Valley can do on an obvious passing situation.
Looking over the middle, Luke Peace, incomplete.
A flag in the backfield. The white hat threw it, so it's either going to be a holding or it's going to be something with legal hands to the face, roughing the passer, something like that. White hat's looking over at the line judge on New Braunfels' side, asking, so you would assume he's asking if he wants to accept or decline the penalty. Looks like he's going to decline it and bring up 4th down.
Well, I was making the point earlier, Brian, in that Coach Larry
foul.
Hill.
Face mask. Offense, number 22. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
With 4th and 7 coming up, Coach Brad Mulder decides to decline. But Isaiah Reggie, Jacob Kirk, no strangers to action in the 3rd quarter. The difference between most games and tonight is that most of the time in the 3rd quarter, the Rangers are up 5 or 6 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter, still getting on the field in situations like this where it's only a 10-point game.
Yeah, and that's these are the type of situations right here that you're happy that we've had the success that we've had against some other teams, and these guys have gotten valuable reps. Balls on the ground.
Fumble.
They've gotten valuable reps, and so it's not foreign to them to be out there with Ty and with the starters and things like that. So when you've got Quentin hobbled up there, obviously Q has been out for a little while. Howe was getting a breather because he was on defense and stuff like that. So those guys are in crunch time. So you're thankful for the reps that they have gotten in the past couple weeks.
With the New Braunfels offense set to come onto the field, their big play guy, Caden Mills, responsible for their lone touchdown tonight. Came on a pass on a trick play from tight end Lyric Lally. And Caden, one of 4 receivers, 3 of them who get the ball a ton for these Unicorns. Mills, 19 receptions, 354 yards, 4 touchdowns coming in. Quarterback Levi Gola in trouble. There's markers, throws it away.
Yeah, there's going to be a hold in the backfield, and if it wasn't a hold, it was going to be a sack. And so both the back judge and the white hat both threw it. So I think it was right at the point of attack. I think it was Barrow that got a heck of a jump off the edge, maybe Woods. I'm not sure who it was. There was a couple guys there that had a chance for a sack, and both of them kind of got tackled. And so we're going to get a hold by the Unicorns.
1st down.
Bring up 1st and 20.
Cameron Pitts, another receiver for these Unicorns. 26 catches, 371 yards for him. touchdown. Grant Franklin's caught 16 balls for 251 yards. He's also scored. Liam Weaver rounds out the receivers as far as the depth chart goes. Also go with a tight end set every once in a while. Corbin Hollander's number 27. We've mentioned they're featured back a couple of times. Brock Stewart, although in the first half, number 25, Harley Ramirez got a couple of touches. 1st and 20 following the holding penalty here. Unicorns back at their own 29.
Good tackle.
Stewart, yeah, past the 30 in Hornsby. Who else?
Yeah, if he doesn't make that tackle, it's going to be a big run. They're going to get a big chunk of that penalty yardage back, but it's a great fit and just a great form tackle by Hornsby there, keeping it to only, a 1 yard gain, maybe 2 yards at most, when it was pretty well blocked up front. And if Hornsby doesn't make that tackle, they're getting all that penalty yardage back and then some.
2nd down and 18. There goes Caden Mills in motion. They give it to him. And he throws it. And wide open down the field. Whistles stopping the play.
I think they're going to say Mills stepped out of bounds before he threw it. It's pretty much the same play they scored on earlier. They threw a bubble and then had a double pass. That time they just handed it off to him and then he threw it. But they're going to say that he stepped out of bounds before he got that ball off. And boy, did he take a hit. I don't know who it was, but somebody laid the wood to him right as he was throwing it. And I don't know what they're over there talking about. They blew the play dead. It's not like they can say, oh, never mind, it's a touchdown. So I don't know what they're necessarily talking about over there. But that's the second time that they've kind of run a little trick play and gotten behind our corners.
The discussion appears to be over, at least among the officials. Ball spotted at the 31, and that's got to be it. After all of that, is he just simply
whistle.
Here we go.
Oh, inadvertent whistle.
We will replay 2nd down.
If you're a Unicorn fan or coach, you're not happy there.
Oh, boy.
Inadvertent whistle. I think they thought he was going to run out of bounds, but yeah, I think that's Camacho that hits him. And I guess they thought that he was going to run out of bounds, and they're trying to protect him along the sideline. I don't know, but that's it's going to take a touchdown off the board for the Unicorns.
So 2nd and 18 because they're redoing the down. Gola fakes. Giving chase was Hudson Woods. Gola showing some good speed across the 40 near the 45.
Good job by him of escaping initially. There was some pressure. I think it was Woods that got around his tackle and was real close to getting a hand up in there. You don't see it on the replay. Yeah, that's Woods coming around. Kind of gets a little held there by the big tackle, number 77, but good awareness, feeling the pressure by the quarterback, Gola, and he's got a little bit of speed, and so picks up a good chunk and actually, makes it somewhat third and manageable here.
3rd and 7 at their own 42. The clock is going at 2:35 and counting. Trips to our side for Levi Gola. Stewart's to his left. Gola rolling this way. There's Woods again. Another sack for Hudson. 7th of the season, 2nd tonight.
Yeah, they tried that sprint out and early in the game, Woods has been doing a great job of not getting reached and kind of stretching out, but Gola's been able to kind of come underneath Woods and still be able to get the play off. That time he just runs right through the chest of the tackle, Jack Owens, and takes him right into the lap of the quarterback, so there's nowhere for him to step up to. And a huge sack there on 3rd and 8. And again, the Unicorns probably not happy with the way that drive turned out with a touchdown coming off the board with an inadvertent whistle.
From that potential score to 4th and 16, and the punt sailing out of bounds just across midfield. So the Rangers will have pretty good field position to start with 1:43 remaining here in the 3rd quarter and up by 10.
Yeah, with the 3rd quarter pretty close to coming to a close, this is not something that's going to be talked about, but big props to Amaya this quarter with 2 big punts, with the wind as strong as it is, to not have daunting field position each time. Now the Rangers are going to get the wind going into the fourth quarter, and now if we do have to punt, it's going to be even longer, and if they have to punt, it's going to be going into the wind. So really great job by the special teams of mitigating the field position into the wind in the third quarter.
Bigler back in the ball game. No, make that gunner Showquist impersonating Caleb. Fantastic burst, 55 yards and a Ranger touchdown.
It can change just that quick. You know, if you're New Braunfels, you go from an inadvertent whistle that takes a touchdown off the board and then a big sack after that, and in one play from scrimmage, you see why the sophomore is highly touted and why he's up on varsity as a sophomore. He made one cut, and it was great blocking up front, but he saw that backdoor cut, and he hit it, and it was one cut and down the hash, and he used his speed to get all the way to the end zone, and a big touchdown from the Rangers to extend it to a 3-possession ball game as we approach the fourth quarter.
Amaya's extra point. Perfect. 1:31 remaining in the third quarter. And you know, Brian, late in that first quarter, we talked about the 4-point swing that was Unicorns fumbling at the 5 and Smithson Valley turning that into a 95-yard possession and a touchdown of their own. Well, we may have just seen another 14-point swing in that, if not for an inadvertent whistle, this game is probably 17-14.
Yeah.
Instead, inadvertent whistle, punt, Smithson Valley scores on their first play.
Well, and as much as this is obviously the Ranger network, it's not probably 17-14. It is 17-14. They caught that ball, and he was 20 yards behind the corner. He was going to score unless he just tripped on his own, but he was wide open. The 2 trick plays has what it's been taken to get New Braunfels into the end zone. But, yeah, it's about to be 17-14. New Braunfels got all the momentum, everything like that. And in the blink of an eye, a big sack and then one play, and all of a sudden the Rangers are up by 3 possessions. Huge turn of events.
This one will be returned. Amaya's kick just inside the end zone. A good lane across the 25. There's Amaya slowing him down. And diving toward the 35 is Caleb Moore on the return.
You know, Amaya has kicked thousands of extra points and field goals and kickoffs and stuff. But I bet you if you ask him, that might have been his most fun moment of the season so far. Because most of the time he kicks out of the back of the end zone, then he picks up his tee and he trots off the field. And also, in the times that they do recover, usually Smithson Valley's cover team's so good that they pin him inside the 20. That time it gets all the way down to the kicker. Somebody ran out of their lane, and he got to get in there and try to make a tackle, and he did. He slowed him down. Didn't bring him to the ground, but he did slow him down enough to where the rest of the Rangers could rally. So decent field position at the 33, but good play by Amaya sticking his nose in there.
You love the aggression. He wasn't like back there playing safety.
No.
He wasn't back there playing center field. He went right for it. That appears to be Harley Ramirez, 25, not 26, if my eyes aren't deceiving me. Yes, it is 25. So Harley back in there, his first carry of the second half. Nets the Unicorns 3 yards to the 36, 2nd and 7.
You keep kind of waiting. Smithson Valley's obviously, because New Braunfels, they want to use Cade Mills as much as they can. And although he's been involved in the touchdown on the double pass, and then he actually threw that double pass, haven't seen many just pass plays pushed down the field to him. And it's a credit to Smith, and they're going to have a delay of game here. But it's a credit to Smithson Valley's game plan, capping him, playing cover 2, having a safety help over the top, things like that. We really haven't called his name much as a pure receiver yet this game, although he did have the touchdown on the double pass and things like that. But as far as just being a receiver and being a target, it's really been the other guys because the Ranger defense has been paying so much attention to Mills.
Following the delay game at 2nd and 12 at the 31. 40 ticks left before we head into quarter number 4. Looking for the screen. There's Pitts and Cameron trying to get out of trouble, but the Rangers there, pursuit in a hurry.
Big 99, Justin Roberts. We were just talking about Amaya having fun, getting able to kick. Justin Roberts, that's fun for him. He's usually in the trenches getting double teamed all the time. And so he read screen there, and he's like, I get to be in open space. I don't have two bodies pushing on me. So he runs down the screen, and when your 3 technique can make a tackle on a screen for no gain, you know that's an athletic big man.
That's the final play of the third quarter. We're heading to the fourth. The Rangers getting the only score in that period, 24-7. Should be a good final 12 minutes right here on the Rangers Network.
I didn't put a filter on. Look at this. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, it's because Link's roofing is in the shop. Anything next to the toughest roofing you can get looks not so tough. Anything?
Link's roof, the second toughest thing in the Smithson Valley area.
Fourth quarter, Brian Hill, Hector Ledesma. Smithson Valley leading New Braunfels 24-7 right here on the Ranger Network. Pair of 6-1 teams here in District 13, 5A Division 1. New Braunfels looking to force a 3-way tie atop the district standings pending the outcome of Piper's game this week. A win for them would hand Smithson Valley its first district loss. Complete. There's Mills.
We jinxed it.
To the 50. And a first down for the Unicorns.
And a big first down at that. Rangers brought pressure. Good job up front by New Braunfels' offensive line picking it up. And a good job by the quarterback, Gola, standing in there. We had a free rusher. He knew he was going to take a hit, and he still delivered it. And we just got done talking about how they haven't necessarily been able to get Mills the ball in a true passing type situation. Well, they did there, and they picked up a big 3rd and 12.
If memory serves, I believe that is only his second catch of the night, to your point, Brian. Gola keeps on this after he pumped. Not a whole lot of space. Just a couple as he crossed midfield.
Yeah, good job by McGee in his cornerback position coming up, forcing the quarterback back inside on the scramble, and then great hustle and pursuit down the line from Barrow. Able to make a tackle there for a short gain. But you got to think crossing midfield here, barring it be a big sack or something like that. Down 3 possessions, you would think the New Braunfels is approaching 4-down territory, especially now that they're into the win and they have to get real close to get within field goal range.
Gola takes off left. Penalty marker coming from behind the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's from the white hat, so it's either holding or illegal hands to the face by the offense, or it's illegal hands to the face or personal foul by the defense.
Here we go.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense, number 92, 15 yards at the end of the run, automatic.
So they're going to call Woods on illegal hands to the face there. My guess is he's trying the arm bar and locking out on the chest, and it just kind of slides up and gets up under the chin. Yeah, it does get up underneath that face mask, and so adds 15 yards. And so New Braunfels with what looked like 3rd and 12 in their own territory. Big conversion, then a penalty. All of a sudden, the blink of an eye, they're inside the plus 30.
New set of downs at the Ranger 29. Gola looking right. Pumps, then lets it go. Open and a catch. Grant Franklin able to haul that one in at the Ranger 2, maybe the 3.
Yeah, ran a double move like an out or a stutter, hook and go. Not sure if we got beat and we're in quarters and Camacho was coming over the top, or it was supposed to be cover 2 and he didn't get there in time. Not sure, but somehow we got behind the corner but underneath the safety. And so again, just 4 plays ago, you're thinking 3rd and 12, Ranger defense about to get a stop. Smithson Valley gets it back, and here we go. Game's kind of well in control, and now all of a sudden they got 1st and goal inside the 5.
At the 3, keeping his gola short. I believe that was Hornsby who came around.
Yeah, good goal line stand there. Down at the 1, and anytime you can, I mean, even when you're down here, even if they do eventually get this in the end zone, you know, up 3 possessions, anytime you can stop them and that clock continues to run, that's precious seconds taken off the clock. So even if they do end up punching it in here, that's a good stop right there, at least making them have to earn it for another down.
Truth Duval L also in on that stop. Gola gets in. Touchdown, the 2nd of the night for the Unicorns.
I think that was
it not Gola?
It was a Wildcat, I think.
It was.
It's
Kane Bunch.
4, yeah.
You're right, 4, not 5. It's Bunch who took the snap and then ran right in with it.
Got it Ranger down, looks like number 15, our safety, Philip Smith. He's down in the end zone. Hopefully he's okay. Training staff going to take a look at him, but again, I just go back to that 3rd and 12, you know, that 3rd and 12, we bring pressure and just an outstanding composure in the pocket by the quarterback. Gola delivers a strike to Mills, picks up a 1st down. And again, 3rd and 12, Smithson Valley just scored to go up 24-7. It's 3rd and 12. They're about to have to punt into the wind. So Smithson Valley offense is going to get great field position. And if they go down and score there, make it 31-7, this ball game is over. They convert on a big 3rd and 12. Then they have a penalty with the hands to the face. Then they run a double move out and up inside the goal, and now all of a sudden they score. Back to a 2-possession game with still plenty of ball game left. Over 9 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Well, Philip Smith, a young man who came into the night with 45 tackles, 9 of them last week. Making his way off the field with some assistance, so our best to Philip now as the Unicorns line up for their 2nd extra point. And with 9:22 to go, the Unicorns refuse to quit. 24-14, we're back on the Rangers Network.
Every shoe they've ever worn has been black. That little voice they hear inside their heads is Coach Larry Hill. When asked their favorite color, they all agree it's always navy. They all believe that the baseball team, a certain law enforcement group, and the 4x4 side-by-side were all named after them. The only thing on their Christmas list is Whataburger gift cards. Each of them has officially changed their middle name to Smithson. When choosing their jersey number, they all answered anything but the number 1. They are the most Rangers in the world.
Stay Navy, my friend.
9:22 remaining. The Rangers 17-point lead, cut to 10 following a short Wildcat formation touchdown taken in by Kane Bunch. Followed a Ranger touchdown in which Gunnar Showquist went 55 yards on the first play following a New Braunfels punt. And so we are where we were just a couple of minutes ago after a couple of big momentum shifts. And the Rangers set to see if they can put some more points on the board. That one needs to be fielded. It's loose. We await the signal. Ranger football.
That was close. Into that wind, man. He got it way up in the air, and our upper guys thought it was over their head, and our deep guys couldn't get there because the wind kept pushing it back and back and back and back, and almost like a wedge, a golf wedge, where it hit and spun back away from them. And they jumped on that ball. Luckily for the Rangers, it squirted out. And then there was multiple people that jumped on top of it, and Rangers were able to wrestle it away from underneath the pile there. But avoiding catastrophe there after giving up a touchdown and making a 2-possession game. That almost gave the ball back to the Unicorns on about the 20-yard line.
So Smithson Valley has it at the 22. Showquist to the 25.
See how the Rangers respond here. I mean, the offense hasn't really had a whole lot of plays here in the second half. You know, they got the ball and they went 3 and out. Then the defense out there, kind of a long drive, and then the Rangers get out and score in one play. And so Ranger offense feel like we haven't seen them much here in the second half. But here we are with 9 minutes left in the ball game, and what feels like a big drive here, even though it's still a 2-possession ball game. Feels like a big drive, and at least need to get a couple first downs and flip the field position here.
The 55-yarder for Showquist a little while ago, his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, 6 overall. Following his 3-yard pickup at 2nd and 7. Knutson over the middle. How complete! In sync, and Hunter to the 45.
Yeah, great ball there. Good route, gets inside. They're playing man-to-man, and they got a really good corner in number 18, Kingston Brown, just a sophomore. So he's going to be really good for them for many years to come, and he's following Haug around. No matter what side of the field he's on, he follows him around. And that time Haug was able to get inside leverage. Really good ball. And fortunate there that they kind of banged him on the hip as soon as he caught it. Otherwise, we've seen Haug speedy. We've seen him split the safeties there in the past and take that the length of the field. But big first down by the Rangers.
They mark Hunter down at the 43. Showquist. Maybe a yard. It'll depend on the spot.
Been impressed with New Braunfels and their resilience. You know, it would have been easy early in the game to kind of say, oh boy, here we go type of deal. You know, we got an interception, ran the ball down inside the 5-yard line, scored, then had another 3 and out pretty quick. But they've hung in there, they've battled. Their defensive front is tough and they're physical, and we're having a hard time moving the ball consistently against them. We've had flashes and some explosive plays, but just haven't necessarily been dominating the line of scrimmage. And so been impressed with the Unicorns, and they look poised to make another deep run in the playoffs this year.
Gunner 5.9 yards per carry this season. Here's Knutson on the ground across the 45. First down for the Rangers as he gets into New Braunfels territory.
Yeah, good design run right there. Quarterback counter. Good patience by Knutson. Obviously, big old tall kid that can sling the rock around, well known for his arm. But that doesn't mean that he can't, that he's not mobile as well. That's about probably his 6th or 7th carry on the evening. And it seems like each time with that big frame he falls forward, that time he got into the second level and picks up a first down. So Rangers across midfield, hoping to take some more time off the clock. 2-possession game. Every first down is a couple more minutes off that clock.
Knutson in shotgun. Braxton Sawyer in motion. Gunner the get. Across the 45, cuts it up inside and across the 35. Another good run for Gunner Showquist, who came in with 161 yards on the ground on 28 carries.
He sure is smooth. He kind of glides in there, and you could see why the sophomore's up there. It's pretty tough to get on the field for a program like Smithson Valley as a sophomore, but you can see why he does. Just kind of glides through his cuts, and he's a big old tall kid as well. We're going to be calling his name for the next 3 years, but really impressive showing, stepping in for a little bit of a banged-up Peegler there. Doing a heck of a job dotting the I is the sophomore Showquist.
At the 35, Brody Wick goes in motion. Gunner again going right. Again, the good burst right off the handoff and across the 30 this time.
Showquist said, okay, I'll show you a glider. I'm going to go ahead and lower my shoulder there and make it a physical run. So he does have that ability as well. Makes that one cut, lowers the shoulder. Great ball security once he's getting into the second level. And now the Ranger offensive line is kind of starting to take its kind of wear on the defensive line just a little bit. Last 3 or 4 runs, we've been controlling the line of scrimmage, and the Ranger offensive staff is in no hurry here because, again, every time you get a first down and move those chains, that's more time off the clock. We won't snap this ball until there's under 5 minutes left to go in the game in a 2-possession ball game.
Knutson will keep biding his time and then takes off up the field, I should say, near another first down, and scratch that. indeed a first down. Move those sticks.
New Braunfels going to take a timeout, trying to stop the clock there and at least give themselves some time to mount a comeback here. But just an impressive drive by the Ranger offense. After a touchdown drive by the Unicorns, picking up some first downs here. They've taken over 5 minutes off the clock, haven't had to throw the ball. Everybody in the stadium knows they're going to run it, and that's the most satisfying time as an offense, is when everybody in the stadium knows you're going to run the ball and they still are able to pick up chunks of yards and get first downs.
4:50 on the clock. The Unicorns trying to find some way, somehow, to get this Smithson Valley offense off the field. Brian mentioning moments ago that the Unicorns primed and potentially poised for another playoff run. Only lost 4 games last year. 2 of them came to the Rangers. Right? Smithson Valley got them in the regular season. And then the Rangers ended what ended up as a 9-4 season for the Unicorns, with a 56-21 loss in round number 3.
Yeah, and that regular season ball game was close. I believe it was about a 2-possession game, but I think the Rangers scored late to make it that. It was a battle back and forth, 1 possession for most of the game. And then by the time they met up again in the 3rd round of the playoffs, the Smithson Valley machine was well oiled and really peaking at the right time and jumped on them early. But again, New Braunfels, I've been impressed with them tonight on both sides of the ball. They're physical, and they're going to do well in this region. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see another late round matchup between these 2 teams here in a couple weeks.
On 1st and 10 at the 23 of New Braunfels, it's Showquist who gets the call again.
New Braunfels going to use their 2nd timeout, trying to preserve as much time as they can. Trying to limit Smithson Valley to a field goal, keep it a 2-possession game. Only 10 points right now. Field goal only makes it 13, so still 2 possessions. So New Braunfels fighting like heck to try to keep the Rangers out of the end zone. If the Rangers can get in the end zone, that pretty much does it. Makes it a 3-possession ball game. With limited amount of timeouts, they'd have to pull off some consecutive miracles with some onside kicks and stuff. So if you're Smithson Valley, obviously you'd love to get in the end zone, but if you get one more first down here after making them use multiple timeouts, even if you don't end up getting in the end zone, it's going to be a tall order for the Unicorns if we can pick up another first down here.
Well, look at what the Rangers have remaining, because either way, they're going to be some way, shape, or form following this ball game in first place, whether it's outright, whether they're tied with New Braunfels, and then depending on what Piper does, Smithson Valley will be still atop the district. So following this, they get MacArthur on Thursday, and then they close the regular season with a 2nd straight Thursday game against Victoria East, and then what we all hope is a long playoff run in defense of the 5A Division I state champion for a program that has come back from that state title with a 6-1 record, and thus far 4-0, trying to make that 5-0. In fact, 443, and a couple of first downs away from making that a reality here, going to 5-0 in league play. 2nd and 10, Knutson takes a snap. Again, will keep up the middle. That Unicorn defense ready. Malachi Grants among the Unicorns there for the stop.
Trying to ensure that New Braunfels has to use their last timeout. So get into a spread type of look, hoping that the Unicorns will have to move bodies out there into the 2x2 formation. That time New Braunfels said, hey, we're just going to man up on the outside and keep numbers in the box. If you're going to throw it and run the risk of stopping the clock for us, then more power to you. But we're going to commit numbers to the run and design quarterback run there. They do a good job of stopping it. But just like what Smithson Valley wanted, they wanted New Braunfels to have to use that last time out there. And so we'll have a 3rd and long, and Smithson Valley's free to kind of throw the ball here. But well within Amaya's range now, especially with the wind at his back. But like we mentioned earlier, you would love to get into the end zone and make this a 3-possession ball game. So both big play on both sides of the ball here.
From a Ranger standpoint, if you're wondering, okay, well, what does New Braunfels have left? Let's say, worst comes to worst, and, this game totally takes a turn, and both these teams have a district loss at the end of the night. What does New Braunfels have left? Well, they close with Seguin on Halloween night and then Wagner on Thursday, November 6th. So those are their 2 remaining games.
I would imagine, and this is no disrespect to either one of those teams, I would imagine that New Braunfels would be favored going into both of those games. And so, this game could depend between first, second, or third for either one of these teams.
Knutson rolling to his left. Stays in bounds, and so with New Braunfels unable to stop the clock, the time will go under 4 minutes until the Rangers have to snap it again. They'll face 4th and long from right around the New Braunfels 24 when they have to snap it again, and here comes Amaya onto the field for a field goal attempt, and I say that because he's also the punter.
He's got a 41-yarder. Got plenty of leg for that even without the wind at his back. One thing that makes this tricky is it's a crosswind. So he's going to have to kind of aim at that right upright and let the wind push it back towards the middle. And he does just that. And it still lands on the track from 41 yards away. What a kick.
Trent Amaya making it a 13-point game with 3:50 remaining here at Ranger Stadium. Smithson Valley leads this series 16-8 over the course of its history. It's a series that started out in favor of New Braunfels from 1986 to 1995. The Unicorns won all but one of those meetings, but since the turn of the century, New Braunfels has won just once. 2009, they knocked off Smithson Valley 28-13, but that is literally the only time since 2000 that the Rangers have lost to the Unicorns.
Could be wrong, but I believe that 09 year, they had a heck of a ball club. I think they made it all the way to the semifinals and lost in like double overtime to Katy for a chance to go to the state championship. I believe that's correct. But yeah, they've and we played each other quite a bit, been district foes both in 6A and 5A. And it's always a tough game. It really is. And although Smithson Valley has gotten the better end of it as far as wins and losses, if you look at the scores throughout those times, there's very, very few amount of times it's more than a 2-possession ball game every time. It's always fought tooth and nail. So you got to give a lot of credit to New Braunfels. They always give Smithson Valley a tough ball game, and tonight is no different. And only a 13-point, and this ball game is not over.
Well, to your point, Brian, as the kids say these days, pulling out the receipts to enhance your point, 29-18 was the score in the regular season last year, so only an 11-point difference. A couple years ago, as Gola goes back to pass here, back to live action, in trouble, gets away. Nice job of eluding pressure, and then once he was able to get out of the grasp of Truth Duvall, able to pick up some nice yardage.
Yeah, and it really was a really good job. There was demons all around him there. Truth Duvall, you had Woods and Roberts all in chase, and just stayed out of the arm's reach there and was able to get out of escape pressure, pick up some yardage, and get out of bounds. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't understand the clock rules anymore in the game of football. I guess things have changed since I stopped coaching, but I don't know when. It seems like when you go out of bounds, and I think the clock should stop, then it's still running, and then it's like, okay, well, under 2 minutes, then it'll stop and go out of bounds. But he went out of bounds last play, and the clock stopped, and so is it under 4 minutes? I'm not saying they're getting it wrong. I don't know the rules anymore as far as clock stoppage, I guess.
After Caden Leak was in on the stop the previous play, that pass complete to Pitts.
Smithson Valley doing a good job keeping everything in front of them. The 5, 6, 7-yard passes isn't going to win New Braunfels this game. So they're playing high cover 2, keeping everything in front. Don't give up a deep ball. Don't give up big plays. Tackle them in bounds. If they're patient enough to get 6, 7, 8 yards at a time, they're not going to come back on a 2-possession game. So obviously New Braunfels is in kind of the hurry up. The Smithson Valley doing a good job keeping everything in front.
Brock Stewart off the screen, a first down for the Unicorns. Now at the Ranger 45. Hurry up, go the Unicorns. Gola keeps to the 40, spins his way past it, and down to the 37.
Yeah, good rallying tackle there, and a good job by Gola getting out of pressure. I've been impressed with him. He's got good pocket awareness, understands, hey, I'm going to step in here and I'm going to take a hit, but I know my receiver's about to come open. And then also there's been great times where he's pulled down and ran when there's nothing been available and making something out of nothing. So good playing tonight by the New Braunfels quarterback.
330 yards rushing, so he can do it with his legs to a certain extent. There's Pitts again. Cameron tonight the leading receiver in terms of receptions for the Unicorns. Mills with some big yardage numbers, but Pitts has been the guy who has caught the most balls.
Yeah, and he took a big hit kind of coming back and throwing the ball right before he goes out of bounds, and it was a heck of a throw back across the middle of the field. He pulled it off, but Woods was in hot pursuit and hits him right when he's throwing that ball. And he's still down, and we were just complimenting him, and so hopefully he's okay. Hopefully maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. He's up on his feet now, so hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him. He sits out of play, and then he comes back in. But he's battled tonight, showing his toughness there because he took a shot.
Levi Gola making his way off the field, as Brian mentioned, because of the timeout called. Gola now has to sit out at least a play.
Yeah, they don't have the only way that he wouldn't have to would be if they took a timeout, but
Yes.
they're out of timeouts to do that.
Right.
And so obviously New Braunfels is not thinking field goal here. 3 points does nothing for you. Still keeps it a 2-possession ball game. So it is 4-down territory. But at some point they're going to start taking some shots into the end zone. They do have the new rule, the 2-minute timeout, 2-minute warning, whatever you want to call it. Unless it's an incomplete pass here, that'll be after this play.
Jackson Maples, the backup quarterback, he comes in. His first pass is complete.
Tackled inbound, so that not a first down, so that'll take it to the 2-minute warning with
It's
no
Pitts
timeouts
again.
left.
And the clock stops with exactly 2 minutes showing. Unicorns at the 15. They'll have a 2nd and 2 following the 8-yard pickup on Jackson Maples' first attempt of the ball game, coming in for Levi Gola, who had to leave for at least a play. We'll see if he comes back out following this 2-minute stoppage.
Trying to see kind of in the huddle over there. It looks like Maples is walking back to the sideline, so it appears that Gola is going to come back in. Maples is getting a bunch of pats on the back. It's tough. You sit and you don't play for almost a full 4 quarters, and then you got to go in a 2-minute drill down, and he went in there and did a good job, felt the pressure, stepped up, made a completion for an 8-yard gain. So good job by him coming in when needed, but it's good to see their quarterback, Gola. They'll need him if they want to make a deep playoff run. So good to see him back in the ballgame.
Yeah, on top of everything you said, Maple was trying to do that against this defensive line and this defensive unit.
They got Mills in the slot up top. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried a little skinny glance route, skinny post route by the inside guy just over the linebackers. Mills lined up in the slot against the safety.
Gola back to pass, looking right, now tries to keep, but the Ranger defensive line having none of it. Justin Roberts, Truth Duvall, both there.
Yeah, not only is that a big sack to take it back, but also that is valuable time off the clock. No timeouts. Now they have to rush. Don't get the exact play call maybe they want.
3rd and 5, although this is 4-down territory. Rolling to his right, and we'll see a 4th down.
Wise play there. And again, because of that sack, they had to hurry up. You don't want to spike it and make it 4th down, so you got to call a play, but you could tell that it was, it was kind of rushed, and the receivers didn't really get off the line, and so it just wasn't a clean play, and basically a wasted play. A sack on second down basically turns into a nullified 3rd down play because they had to rush so much. And so now what looked like, 2nd and 2 has quickly become a 4th and 5, and here's the ball game for you. If the Rangers get a stop here with no timeouts left, they'll just kneel this thing out.
At the 18, Gola looking left, looking to keep, goes down, and as Brian Hill said, that should do it. Justin Roberts wagging that finger as he comes off the field. He knows it. The Ranger offense about to come on and finish this thing off.
Yeah, Barrow gets the sack, but the initial pressure is by Roberts up the middle, forcing Gola to step up. You can see the replay. Roberts forces the pressure up, and then we got good pressure up the middle and didn't let him escape right up. And Barrow finishes it off with a great sack. And like we said, with 0 timeouts left, in a not pretty game, but I think this is a game that Smithson Valley needed, to be honest with you. Their starters haven't really played past the first or second series of the third quarter. In Piper they did, but not really prior to that, Brennan. And so this was a good test getting ready. This is a playoff type of physicality type of team that you're playing. And so the Rangers eke out a win. Not eke out, we won by 2 possessions, but they were able to hang on and get a win in a non-pretty game with plenty of film to look at in areas to improve. But anytime you could not necessarily play super well, and give credit to New Braunfels, not play well and still get a big district ball game against somebody else that is vying for that first place spot, you'll take it.
Knudsen takes the knee as the Smithson Valley squad, whose results have gone like this: 62-6 over Roosevelt, 30-21. Their only loss to Brennan. 42-10 over Madison, 41-14 Champion, 27-17 Piper. Stoppage here momentarily.
Yeah, Coach Hill called a timeout. I think that the play clock was running low, and he just wanted to call a timeout. And
gotcha.
Just telling Ty, hey, make sure we keep it on that clock. But he also pointed to it and said, hey, look, take a knee and then let's hustle off the field. Clock's under 40 seconds, so this will be the last play. Don't have to snap it again after this.
After that 41-14 victory against Champion, 27-17 beat Piper, 48-7 against Wagner 2 weeks ago, 56-10 at Seguin last week, and now 27-14 over New Braunfels. And what is the final play of a game in which the Rangers will win to improve to 7-1, more importantly 5-0 in district play, and in context of this game remain outright by themselves in first place in the district. Clock ticks away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 ball game. Brian Hill, your final thoughts. I know you talked about how it wasn't the prettiest win, but you need these kinds of victories as you prep for a long playoff run. Just a final analysis on a night in which the Rangers come out with a 27-14 victory.
Yeah, you'll always take a district win, especially against another playoff team in your district. You'll take that no matter what. But again, and I don't want to take anything away from New Braunfels. I'm not sitting here saying that it was a tighter ball game because Smithson Valley played poorly. A lot of that had to do with New Braunfels. They were physical. They had a good plan on both sides of the football. Smithson Valley was fortunate that there were some bounces that went their way. We had a fumble or two, a mishandled kickoff that we happened to get on, a fumble that we happened to get on, an inadvertent whistle. Things like that. But at the end of the day, a win's a win, and we made enough plays to win the ball game. And this was a playoff type of battle. And against playoff teams, not everything's going to go right. And so, in fact, even though that it was not their prettiest game, I feel like the Rangers are going to learn the most from this game that they have in a long time, just because there will be things to work on and there will be things to clean up, and they'll be better for it moving forward. And hats off to New Braunfels for a great ball game. And like I said earlier, I would not be surprised if we didn't see these two teams match up again sometime around Thanksgiving.
We saw it last year, the Rangers ending the Unicorn season in round number 3 after they beat New Braunfels by 11 in the regular season. It's a 13-point win here in 2025. For Brian Hill and all the awesome folks at Wick Productions, we say good night on the Rangers Network. Next week, second to last regular season game for the Rangers. We'll see you then when they take on the MacArthur Bramas. Until then, have a great weekend and a great week, everybody.
Go Rangers.